So what y'all doing? Y'all Facebooks, y'all just gonna share the shit.
Okay.
Like once y'all go to my Facebook, take the video, and then pass it over to y'all's. Boom. Bam, we live now. Is Liddy.
Oh, I see us.
Yeah, so share it. You share it as well. See the advancement of technology when we utilize technology properly. You know, because people want to, technology is running everything. No, motherfucker. It's how you choose to use it, little bitch.
Right.
Hate that shit. I hate that bullshit. Be like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Yep, I see it's right there.
I see it.
It's lit. Yes, yes. Let's get it. You shared it on yours?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
yours?
welcome to the Fix for New York.
So, test run, pilot episode.
Cheers, boys.
Fix. Hold on. Let me get my chaser.
You don't need a chaser.
Nah, I need one. Where's the?
You got a bottle over there?
I'm looking for it. Is it over there, Z?
This right here?
Yes. Z in the clutch. Thank
go.
you. Oh, see, God is good. I almost knocked my phone
is
down,
great.
B.
Not just good.
All the time.
Yeah, you wanna open your Coronis
Not yet. I'm
soon,
sipping
huh?
on the whiskey for now.
No problem.
Yeah. I need a chaser. B is just me, know what I mean?
Drink like a man.
Hey, B, let me tell you something,
You
yo.
think George Washington was using chasers? Nope. They
They-
didn't even have water. They used to drink alcohol because they didn't have
Yeah,
water.
they would chase alcohol with beer.
Alcohol.
They have wooden teeth though, so like, come on.
You know, they said that wasn't true, but I don't know.
It's a lot of allegedness
There's a lot of-
occurring.
I know they had wigs.
Yeah,
You know?
the powdered wigs.
Mm-hmm.
We should bring those back.
Alright, so hold on.
Bring back the powdered. Well, you didn't. Whoa, what are you doing?
Now we do it with the shot.
Just a quench. Real quick,
We
sheesh.
gotta cheers to the podcast.
Yes.
So
Fix for New York.
the Fix for New York pilot episode
Number one.
#1.
Day drinking.
Day drinking and talking some constitutional libertarian
Real shit.
real shit. Know what I mean? Damn, that's a motherfucking shot, yo.
Johnny Walker, please sponsor us.
Don't drink the whole shot, bro.
Alright, thank you for
Yeah, we're
clarifying
sipping
that.
on that. We're not.
Nah, cause
Take a
motherfuckers,
sip is all you
motherfuckers be like, yo, you gotta finish your shit, blah blah blah.
Take that like a man.
We're here to relax. We're not partying.'re not on Dykeman.
Now,
As long as you know that.
with Yatsu permission, you know, gotta be fair, equal, and all that. Do y'all mind if I spark something up? Oh, another camera
No
angle.
problem.
Hey, you know.
Just fine
We
by
out
me.
here, baby.
Do what you gotta do. You know?
How's it running on your phone? You seen the
It
camera
looks good.
angles switch?
Do it again.
There's a lag on the
It is
actual.
lagging a little bit.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a 10-second lag. They said. Just tell me.
It is. We have 4 viewers.
Well, you've
Can you
seen them,
see who the viewers are? Oh, I saw the camera switch. That was really cool.
but. So
I don't
yeah,
know who's watching though. It's pretty cool.
That's Facebook.
Someone's watching.
it's fucking
That's
lit,
what
man.
matters.
Yo, this I'm so happy right now.
Alright.
My bad, son. Where did I put it? Where did I put this? But yeah, know, motherfuckers. Everybody wanna talk shit that is all emotional and irrelevant. I
On the
wanna
Fix New
talk.
York, we only talk facts.
Yeah, hablo
We
más
talk.
tecas que
We can recognize emotion.
Yup.
At the end of the day, we're about facts.
Is there a light
Facts.
over there?
No feelings.
Yes, please and thank you, my bad, John. Again.
Man.
Should have been ready.
You need the lighter. Yo, I had to set everything up. I had to set everything up,
Where's
baby.
the blunt at? You didn't have it on the table?
I have it in my hand. I just need the lights. Just give me the light. Just give me the light. Yeah. Hey, man. Just give me the light and pass the blunt on. Or whatever he says. Come on. Oh, shit.
So yeah, man, we're gonna get into this topic that we wanted to talk about.
I think we should start off with the Santa Claus right now.
Oh,
Let's get
God.
into it.
He's gonna jump right into
You
Santa.
know, we're gonna
Understand.
we're gonna be controversial but respectful on said topics. And I think Santa Claus, you know, you got the seasons coming up, the holiday season's coming up, and
Oh, God.
Cash has a lot to say about Santa Claus. So let's hear him out and let's play devil's advocate.
Why are we
a little
lying?
bit, you know?
Why are we lying to children? Let's
Why are we lying to children?
yeah. Why are we lying
So
to children?
let's hear your side out of this. What is it you want to tell the
Your
parents
feet
about
first, your
Santa
feet
Claus?
first.
So my
You're the
whole
star
thing,
of the show.
my whole thing is this: we're creating a watered down, sugar coated, like system within the entity of children for generations to come if we keep feeding them this false story of Santa Claus, when I believe that people should put in the direction of, look, you have parents, honor, cherish them, behave all year round, and they're gonna take that into consideration, and they're gonna see that you have earned the gifts that you asked for. Mother and father are only one. You feel me? Mother and father are only one. So I want to honor the parents more, because can y'all both agree we have a major disconnect from parental authority and the children being handed over to the state? Along with the state, all this imagination shit. I grew up, and everybody has their own experiences in life. I grew up with kids using that as a scapegoat. Oh, fuck my parents. When it gets closer to the holidays and all that, I'll start behaving, and right there, Santa got me and shit. Oh, look, we even have agreed. Sandra Mack, shout out, Sandra Mack and
we
shit.
appreciate you, Sandra.
Yep. So that's my portion to begin with. Because if I go on a whole rant,
I get what you're saying, but Santa Claus. I think there's a lot more things that we water down to children that are much bigger deals than Santa Claus. We have kids watching CNN. That's a bigger problem than because Santa Claus is used to portray good morals and respect and behaving and stuff like that. And although it's not true, it's a fable used to teach kids certain traditions and values.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I agree with that. I just believe that it should be rerouted more to the appreciation of parents.
I think that
And
parents
it comes
use
to
it.
that eventually, but to explain that to a little kid, sorry to cut you off,
go
but
ahead.
to explain that to a little kid is it's not easy, you know?
That's what I wanted to come
Yeah.
in and say. Like, basically, with kids, like we were saying before, parents try to use Santa Claus as a third character that is not actually there, but that they can use as saying, oh, this guy's watching year round, even when I'm not there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so why not have a little bit of imagination put into it
It's true.
when it comes to the children? You know, imagination helps create character.
It does, and
You know?
imagination is important for development of children's brains as well.
Yep.
Because if you're not teaching children imagination, you're just teaching them to see everything as what it is, and imagination is part of innovation in society, and those are the ones that grow up to be Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, because they imagined something and they saw it through to happen.
Right.
Now, maybe Santa Claus isn't the reason for that, but it teaches imagination to an extent.
Sandra
too.
Mack said, you can share the history of Santa Claus and explain why people celebrate that history and traditions, but don't lie to them.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know,
That's agreed. That's agreed. I feel like at a certain age, when they're younger, I said maybe around 4 to maybe around 6 or 7 even.
Yeah.
You can kind of give them that little play. This is imagination. Santa Claus is a character that you could believe that's gonna bring you gifts if you behave well, if you act right, if you do things that basically in society we look at as, this is the right thing to do. But when it comes to a certain age, when they grow up and they find out Santa Claus isn't real, I feel like that's a better way to judge the child. Like, all right, now the child is becoming more mature. Now the child is starting to realize, all right, this thing doesn't add up to this. Like, why is it that every time
which one's
Santa
my
Claus,
Corona? My bad, I'm sorry.
Right. Why is it that every time Santa Claus comes around, mommy's not in the room or whatever, or daddy's not in the room or whatever?
Yeah.
And it helps, like I said, it helps with the child's development.
Of course.
I could agree with that, but again, I don't want to sugarcoat things for children, because I want them to know off the rip, look, life ain't a joke. Because the reason people become parents, well, it should be the reason and shit, is because you're like, okay, I'm doing so good in my life and all that I want to procreate, I want to keep the lineage going, pass it down. You don't want the government to seize your money. Whatever you earned while you're alive and shit, is all right, rather my family take this and move forward with it and all that and shit. Haha, she said, Mom is in the room kissing Santa. Christina Baxter said, the broken home syndrome is a huge contributor. Exactly. You're taking the children, my opinion here, you know, because at the end of the day, it's hard to make any of this like factual,
Right.
because this is all perspectives from all of us,
Definitely.
Yeah.
you know. My opinion on this is you're taking away the cherishing, the appreciation, you know, of the parents.
The actual parents.
Yeah, of the actual parents. More than anything, your parents, like, because you're created by them. You're not here without them. Those should be like the first two human beings that you're always like, wow, you know. And that keeps responsibility into play as well. Because why you having kids if you're not able to afford them? Then now you gotta feed them lies and
Yeah.
shit. And then on top of that, you know how many kids I saw growing up. Oh, but I behaved all year. Santa didn't get me this, didn't get me that. Cause it's
You mean the
fake.
poor kid, how you were stating. I just feel like let's talk about this, right? When you're a parent, it's hard to explain everything to a child,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm
You
not
can't
a parent,
explain
but I can
everything.
see-
I'll disagree with that because my whole thing is the time you put into it. If you're
Right.
if
Yeah, but
real
kids'
quick, and I'm
attention
so
spans
sorry,
are short,
Thank you.
but that's based on the parenting.
Right.
and I think
That's-
that's just human instinct.
Yeah,
You
I
you
feel-
don't have the time to focus and really see things out for what they are, and that's where imagination comes into place because you can teach them values through things like Santa Claus.
True.
You know.
But again, I'm so sorry. Actually, because I even
Oh, do your
interrupted
thing,
you
bro. Go ahead.
real quick. All I want to say with that is you're giving them like certain things and all that, but you're projecting it to a fictional character. You got me that you don't know how long they're gonna go believing in Santa Claus.
Well,
the
eventually
problems.
they don't. You know.
Eventually they don't, but what do you tell the kid, how you said earlier?
There was a 13-year-old in my 7th grade class who still believes in
And
Santa
now
Claus.
he's
He
going
got bullied
around.
for it, but he figured it out eventually. Life hits
See,
you tough sometimes.
Sandra-
The parents are to blame for that. I feel like the parents,
Yes,
because
of course.
there should be a limit to where you take the imagination.
Well, I don't think maybe they just wanted him to figure it out on his own, and maybe that was his way of figuring it out. You know.
Right. Right.
We don't like government involvement. Maybe we don't like parental involvement in even how we see things as kids too. You have to let your kid grow up to a certain extent on their own too.
I
And I'm
could-
saying that as not even a parent, so maybe I'm wrong, but you know that's just
No, but I
perspective
could
I'm
even
throwing out
agree
there.
with that. But look, Sandra said right here. In fact, we didn't say thank you to the parents. My parents took a no. If in fact we didn't say if we didn't say thank you to my parents took away all our Christmas toys that year. Exactly. That's what I mean by it. Because what are we always complaining about? The biggest disconnect that has people, you know, in certain groups acting up and not realizing like you're harming others is from coming from some type of incorrectness in the household. Because you can have two toxic parents, you can have one parent that's toxic, you feel me? So on top of that, you're gonna add a fictional character, like in my opinion,
Maybe the fictional character is less toxic than the parents.
maybe.
is that even then that fictional character, the emotional reaction once kids realize, because I've seen it happen when kids, not all, but even any percentage still creates a problem when they realize Santa Claus ain't real. Oh my God, it's been alive this whole time. Blah blah blah.
Well, when I stopped, I was sleeping over in my cousin's house as I used to do on Christmas, and shout out to Brian, by the way, it's his birthday.
Yo, happy birthday, Brian, real quick. Yo, God bless you, yo. For real, for real.
We heard noise downstairs. We thought it was Santa Claus, and it was his father, my uncle, wrapping the presents very late at night, like 3 in the morning.
Heartbreak.
We went upstairs. We're like, well, we can't tell them because they're going to know we don't believe in Santa. We probably won't get gifts. So we went along with it for a couple more years, and eventually they realized we don't believe in Santa, but we also realized the gifts don't stop just because you don't believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah, the gifts
The
never.
names on the gifts changed because nobody had to fake it and write Santa Claus. It was actually from whoever it was from.
Right.
And, you know, we grew up. That's all it was.
I keep misplacing all kids.
Like I said, I just feel like it should be something that if you do introduce it, let it be temporary. Don't make it a thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to let this run as long as I can, even
Yeah.
into the teenage years, because then all you're doing is hurting the child, you know?
Mhm.
But if you do introduce it, just know what comes with it, you know? Just know that at the end of the day, they're going to find out. If they feel some kind of way about it after they get older, then you just got to let them know your reasoning behind it and the reason why you feel like, because let's be honest, when it comes to Santa Claus and these kind of Christmas things, it just brings a warmth to the holiday. There's other people that aren't, I don't want to say atheists, because there's Christians that believe in Santa Claus. There's
Christians that don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let's talk. Let's get into that. Let's get into that. There's also Christians that believe that
It's a pagan holiday.
right. It should be sacred. It should be
Yeah.
only to honor the birth of Jesus, which nobody knows the actual date.
Yeah.
People just made that the
That
random
was,
day.
you
You know.
know, to the
So-
Gregorian calendar, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
right there, then we could all agree on this. You know, you're putting out another entity, right? That is gonna take away focus from what should really matter, the actual values, appreciation, and you see how you said warmth.
Right.
That's the warmth I believe in. Yo, we have managed to remain alive this whole year. Let's reflect on what we're thankful for this year, and let's remain together to build for the years to come. I wanted to go back to the family unit, and y'all both know this about me. I have no intention of being a father for at least another 15 years, possibly never, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. You feel me? Until the laws change, before anybody freaks out and all that shit. Until the laws
Relax,
change.
ladies. Relax.
Feminists is about to, they'll bust behind this window right now, motherfucker. Ah, and shit, but you
We're
feel
not
me?
here to please feminists.
Not at all.
We're gonna tell the truth.
You know?
But you know, I don't want to take away from the parent, because already too much is being taken away from parents. I don't want to take away any more from parents. And on top of that, you know, the different way we could go about maximizing the potential within the individual child's imagination is observing their strengths, observing their likes.
Yeah.
You could like drawing and be good at drawing. All right, we could go somewhere with this. If you like drawing and you're bad at drawing, at a very early age, you got two options. You could say, okay, I'm not good at this, fuck it, let me try something else. Or you could say, all right, I'm not good at this right now, so I'm gonna you know, dedicate myself to learning how to improve myself with this, because I have such a great imagination towards it.
We've got some
That I want to
good
create.
comments here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, I'm not sure
What
who
do we
left
have?
off, but Sandra Mack had said, can't teach a kid lying is bad and lie to your kid, her opinion. Sean
Thank you.
Tully said Santa Claus used to have a green suit and the tradition was hijacked by the Coca-Cola company
Okay.
to push advertising, and his suit became red for that reason.
That's new to
very
me. That's new to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We learn something every day. I didn't even know that
And
shit.
honest, no, my parents didn't tell me about Satan Claus because they didn't want me to grow up to deny God.
Oh shit!
And also,
Oh,
Christmas
shit.
was an ancient pagan holiday. The Bible says in Jeremiah not to have a tree. I'm a pagan, so I have to celebrate Christmas now. LOL.
Democrats.
Wow,
So-
Look
I
at
didn't
that.
know a lot of that.
Look at all
So
that
this
shit.
is with all
Yeah.
of this input we have. That's the beauty of America.
Mhm.
We can have distinction between people and family, bro.
Yeah.
And that we shouldn't change that. That's the beauty of America. That's the freedom of America. Like
Yeah,
we
of
can do
course.
whatever
I mean,
we
As long
want.
as you're not harming others.
Yeah, exactly.
feel free
Because
to lie to your
overall, that's
Right.
that'll be
Right.
that'll be my
Constitutional.
final. Yes, it is.
Constitution.
It's constitutional, literally. That's exercising the First Amendment, and you're not treading
Mhm.
on anybody else.
Right, right.
So this is my final statement on that. Like that, you know, we continue on and all that. Me personally, if I have children, I wouldn't teach them about Santa Claus, and it's not out of selfishness,
Right.
but it's just to get them started early on. Look, I chose to bring you into this world, and I'm gonna do my best to guarantee that you'll enjoy life to its fullest potential.
Right.
But you gotta behave with me, cherish me, appreciate me, and I hope you talk to your friends about appreciating their parents, like that we could work together to get even further. Cause I already got you
That's
lined up.
respectable.
Well, I hope there's some
100%.
young
Yeah,
ladies
yeah.
on this live
'Cause no
stream
lie-
and, you know, maybe want to procreate with you at some point.
Like I said, bare minimum, yo, even if it's Tammy Bar,
Right.
even if it's Tammy
I know you
Vargas,
love her.
15 years.
Both of them.
15 years, bare minimum. Why? We got laws to change.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
be-
you know, there's a lack of fathers' rights in family
Thank
courts right now.
you. All
talk
right,
about
next
that.
topic.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about.
that.
Well, we good on the Christmas stuff,
I
right?
think we can move on from Santa Claus. I think that was a really good
Yeah,
opening.
that was a
to Fix
good
for New
opening.
York.
Fix for New
We
York.
create some controversy.
We here. We here.
Brian, once again, shout out, happy birthday.
My mom's watching. Hi, Mom.
Shout out, Mrs. Farkas.
Miss Farkas.
She told me to stay off my phone, but you know I'm reading the comments. So.
Hey, he's multitasking.
Right.
Your son is a very talented and intelligent individual. I love that man, and Only
Yeah,
DNA
me
can make
too.
us closer,
Yes, sir.
you know. And trust me, B. And this is my brother right here, but I consider you a brother
Another
too.
step,
Yeah,
bro.
we are
Word,
brothers,
salute,
we are
salute,
brothers.
salute to that. You know,
To the
happy
pilot,
birthday, Brian,
Hazel.
again.
Yes, happy birthday,
Happy
Brian.
birthday, Brian,
Happy
again.
birthday.
God bless King Face.
Mm.
God bless all
Rest in
those,
peace.
you know, long story short, that are no longer here with us. We hope y'all watching from above.
Yes, sir.
And bless us with this battle that, you know, we're continuing here on earth and shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen. Very well said.
Thank you, you know, and I just want y'all to know that no matter what, First Amendment, everybody's entitled to their own difference in opinion.
Harm upon others.
As long as
Thank
you don't
you.
bring harm
Thank
upon others. Don't force, you know.
And the issue right now we're having is Republicans want to force beliefs upon Democrats, and Democrats want to enforce beliefs
Very
upon
true.
Republicans.
Very
but
true.
as my mentor, someone like a mentor to you too, Mr. Larry Sharp
Oh
says,
fuck yeah! I wish he was. You know, I have a biological father, but I wish it would have been Larry instead, simply because of the business mindset.
well, I don't
Miss-
think he needs to be your father for that.
Yeah,
but
No, but he's a great mentor.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting
That's
it
a bit
out
of a
there.
stretch.
that's my political mentor for sure.
Nah,
Good
'cause
time to
I-
say that,
I-
and I look
yo.
forward to him being on a show as well for your
Oh
listeners.
fuck yeah.
he's
No,
a
it's just
great guy.
yo, when you see like that, he has everything I wish my father would have.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Just to
makes
make a long story short, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
wow. It's like all right, you could have a great sniper in your squad, but imagine you have a great sniper that is also a great foot soldier, a great field soldier,
Yeah.
a great landmine reader.
Speaking of that, my father just commented. It's my friend David Pagosian, second lieutenant in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
It's his birthday. He's down.
God
in
bless,
logistical
God
officer
bless.
right now.
Salute to that, you know.
Salute.
And
He's
it's
probably- he's probably busy right now, but
word. God bless. Salute to that. But but yeah, B. I just want to restore because life. In order to create life, parenting
Right.
has to exist. In order for parenting to exist, you know, there has to be love within the parties, whatever. So, for that nucleus to continue to grow in a positive direction, there should be more appreciation of parents.
Yeah.
Also, vice versa, reciprocal as well. The parents gotta be very loving to the children,
Yeah.
very patient. That's how you know it's real, and understanding to the children. Because why did you choose to create this? Again, I'm 31, about to be 32. I've never gotten a girl pregnant. I had one false allegation, one false one. Just putting it
Just
out
in
there.
case it comes out.
Just in case I had one false one. I was ready for a DNA test and everything. She wasn't even pregnant.
Wow.
She wasn't even pregnant. And the shit was, she didn't want me to leave her and all that. But my whole thing is, if the chemistry ain't good here, you're being toxic. You're always making fun of me while I'm trying to get ahead. Instead of being a companion, a cooperative, you know, Partner.
Yeah, yeah,
in a
partner.
parental-child relationship or a romantic relationship, friction is common and definitely unavoidable as well. So,
it's definitely
you know,
unavoidable.
So
That's in any-
sometimes it's
that's in
worth
any
working
relationship.
through, or sometimes
Yeah.
it's just not.
Your car will need an oil change sooner or later. Brakes fixed sooner or later. All type. I want to reduce that as much as possible. How do you do that with your vehicle? Treating it good, driving it properly. You know,
Get tuned up.
appreciating it and all that. That's what I want within, you know, the family structure. Again, however you choose to go about family structure, it could be in any way. I believe in co-parenting. I believe in polygyny. I believe in whatever the fuck, as long as you're making sure to be responsible and dedicate yourselves to making a very well productive human being out of the child y'all chose to procreate.
I'd say we're all very controversial men here, but polygyny is certainly one of your most controversial belief systems you have.
Definitely.
I can't get behind that personally. I understand, historically, biblically speaking, polygyny was the answer because we had to procreate.
Life creation,
And, that's
and
science
you need
to an
more. You need the
extent,
numbers.
But I think monogamy is more out of respect and
We're in different times.
trust.
This
and
is the thing.
loyalty and-
Monogamy is about respect to those who abide by that.
Of course.
There's girls that want polygyny, and again, mathematically
There are.
it's proven. So that's my
But
stance
can
with
we
that.
agree there's a lot less women that want polygyny though? More
It's-
women want to be appreciated, and it's kind of like the American way, where it's like, you know, the guy has to honor his woman and basically show her that she's the only one that matters to him.
And
But-
vice versa, of course.
Right, of course.
Vice
Vice
versa.
versa. Vice versa. Vice
Mhm.
versa.
Now, along with that, I can't say that the majority do, because the majority of women find each other attractive. Right now,
That's true.
that taboo has been removed. What are women doing more than
Well, that's
anything?
thanks to leftist propaganda, of course.
Not only
Just
leftist,
destroying
because
taking the father out of the home to make
It-
sure that they're poor and the
No,
welfare
I'll
state that's created
I'm
from.
sorry.
as well.
That's the left, bro. That's 100% the left.
I'm gonna disagree with that because this goes back to super ancient times when it was just they were looking at it from a mathematical and individual
Yeah,
standpoint.
but the mindset isn't about that anymore because we're overpopulated, if anything.
Yeah, we
right
really
now.
are.
Actually, we're
Right
not.
now- maybe not.
It's been
here
proven.
in New Jersey, but
No,
you know,
worldwide.
Let's talk about Asia.
Asia's bad.
Let's talk about
That's
Asia.
another.
Hey, that's the world though.
No,
Right.
this is all falsified information and it's been proven time and time again. Quantity Per
Show us the
individual?
proof. Where's the facts?
Pull it up. Go on YouTube
Google
right
it.
now. Put on
No, I'm
YouTube
not
right
gonna
now.
go on YouTube, no.
Google
What should I
and
look up
YouTube.
though?
Okay, be like, are we actually overpopulated? Yes or no? And look at all of them, because there's gonna be some that say yes, and there's gonna become that say
DuckDuckGo,
no.
I hope you give us a sponsorship as well. I don't use Google. They
Shout out DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is valid.
ACSH.org,
Valid.
American Council on Science and Health, Overpopulation Myth. New study predicts population decline this century. There you go, and that's August 5th, 2020. That's a very recent article.
Population's been declining
Oh,
for
I'm
a
gonna read this
very
real
long
quick.
time, since the Civil War.
Maybe because of
Since
women,
1776.
maybe because of women's
Wars.
rights and the court system. Maybe that's
No,
what it is.
We also
Even-
murdered a lot of people in world wars and
Yeah.
whatnot.
We murdered a lot of men.
Poverty, famine.
And you know what? You know what thrives an economy and society? Guess.
Tell me.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Well, guess.
tell me,
Okay. Quantity of people being productive. A man can get several women pregnant, and again, it's biblical, mathematical. Any way you choose to look at it, the numbers don't lie. The logic behind it doesn't lie. If a woman can only get pregnant one time, within I'll say safely a year and a half,
Right.
safely, and I would even let it extend to 2 or 3 years and shit like that, but a man could bust out like crazy. What do you do when you have a bunch of seeds with any type of produce that's gonna continue to procreate? Do you only plant 1 or 2 trees? You make the life growth. And this goes back to First Amendment, because your First Amendment, what it does at its foundation is recognize and honor freedom of
Well,
choice.
speaking of, I do work in the landscaping industry right now, and you can't plant too many trees too close to one another either. They have to be spread out enough for their roots to develop and for them to grow up eventually.
No, that's true, but that's a
So
different.
planting a bunch of seeds can also be dangerous too.
It can
As
be
long as
dangerous.
It's spread out, it's safe.
Of course, I just gave
And
you a
overpopulated
time,
cities
but
are
nothing.
dangerous to humanity as well.
Okay, understandable.
I'm gonna read this this article real quick, just a headline. Alex Barizo, PhD. New study projects that the world population, which now stands at 7.8 billion, will peak in 2064 at 9.7 billion, then fall by 2100 to 8.8 billion. If the UN Sustainable Development Goals are met, the population could be even smaller at 6.3 billion.
Sandra,
These are
man.
estimates, though. These are estimates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, that's a long way from now too.
Yeah.
See, we have some people here in the comments even saying that we are not overpopulated. It's a myth and all that. Of course it is. Again, monogamy, polygyny, you choose what works for you.
Right.
I prefer drinking Jack and Coke.
Okay.
I prefer indicas over sativas. I prefer Berettas over Glocks. Allow people to choose, because there's women that will get mad, and there's a huge number of them. Because again, ever since taboo has been removed, what are we seeing more than anything? Women hooking up with women. Right now,
That's true.
And another big reason of population decline is abortion, which abortion was created.
That's another thing.
However you want to
That's
see it,
agreeable,
abortion
yeah.
was created by white supremacists to limit minority populations within this country.
Okay.
That's just the truth.
Well,
Margaret Sanger was, what do you call it? Eugenics, right? That's the study of white supremacy and, trying to make it scientifically proven and whatnot. But simply, abortion was created to limit minority populations in this country. They wanted more whites to keep populating, and they wanted black, Hispanics, Asians to stop populating.
so here's a
And
dope
they've
thing.
convinced us that it's our right
Right.
to have abortion. However, we're just falling for their game that they wanted since day one.
So what I want to see is we should do some research on who has the most abortions.
It's the Black American community
It's
right
the
now.
Black American
yeah,
community.
of course.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, I just feel like abortion is a choice, and I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying that it should be an option. Because
I can't call.
let's
when
talk
we
about
talked
let's talk about
this-
these rape victims. Let's talk about all these women that you know, God forbid anybody in our families that happens to our families. We wouldn't want a woman in our family stuck with a child.
Well, I
that
would
they
hope
don't-
that women in my family are practicing their Second Amendment rights
Thank you.
and know
Let's
how
get
to
into that.
carry
Yeah,
and
yeah.
use a firearm to prevent rape from happening to themselves.
But
So
in modern day though.
well, in modern day, they want our women to be raped, and they don't want them to protect themselves. And these are all Democrats for the most part, you know.
For the
And
most
my
part,
shirt
yes,
does,
but
someone mentioned Bill Gates in my shirt. I don't know if you
Plenty.
guys can see it, but it's a
Turn
yep,
Oh, yeah,
I got the camera right on you.
That shirt is fire.
You can stand
Your
if you
body,
want.
My choice.
Yeah,
That shirt is
And
fire.
this is
Right
made
there.
by Jim Bob. If you guys are familiar with his artwork,
yeah.
he's incredible. So, yeah, but Bill Gates is eugenics, and he's working on vaccinations for COVID, and I don't trust it personally.
I know, bro.
And I encourage people to practice holistic healthcare, exercise, be physically fit. That's how you beat viruses.
Yes.
And
I
yes,
just
tax
wanna clap.
dollars. We're never going to stop abortion. Me not believing in abortion doesn't change the minds of millions of people. However, what we can do is we can federally defund abortion. And if you want to have an abortion, not that I agree
Pay
with
for it
Come out
on
of
your
pocket.
come out
own.
of
makes
pocket.
sense. That
I'm
makes
not paying for you to.
The only
Yeah,
exception,
That's
the
fair.
only
know?
exception I give is free Plan B pills if you got raped. Like
Yeah,
that.
I don't
With
like
the
free
exception of
anything,
rape
though.
victims,
Yeah, but
with the
even then, we've talked about Anna Paulina's husband, who is a product of a rape and is a highly decorated Navy SEAL now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
but
every rape victim's child is going to grow up to fall the same line of poverty or whatever your situation is.
Right,
Sometimes they get over it.
We
A
can all
lot of
admit
times
that.
people get through what they get through in life, and childhood is rough
Right.
for a lot of people, but they overcome it.
that's
And that's a
understandable.
great
But
story too.
no, of course, an amazing story. God bless. Larry's an adoption child.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You feel me?
Exactly.
You could be pro-life, but we can't blanket everybody. Me, I say more than anything, a plan. What's so hard? If I cut myself right now, what's the
I
first thing
still
I'm
think
gonna
it
do?
should be free.
Let's avoid it while it
No,
still
yeah.
sells. Let's avoid it while it still sells. Like, let's do it before it becomes an actual being that's alive with a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Sure.
Don't.
That
Yeah,
makes sense. That makes sense.
exactly. That's what I want. Yo, more than anything, yo, how the fuck, not in a disrespectful manner, but just logically thinking, if you just got raped, the first thing when that ambulance picks you up, yo, here's a plan B. Bang!
Yeah.
Problem
There's also
solved.
embarrassment for rape victims, and sometimes
But
it's
yeah,
highly traumatic.
That's what I think.
They
It's
don't
an
know what to
individual
do.
thing, bro.
It's an individual
Everybody
thing.
has to have that
And
option.
there
Allow
are
the
rape
option.
victims who do
Thank
immediately
you,
get Plan B and they
thank
move
you.
on through life. And there's
Thank
rape
you.
victims who have the child and they live very successful lives.
Be responsible overall, and if a tragic event does occur, you should be allowed the option for it.
So two
Can we
things.
all agree that the people with the best character alive now, most of them have crazy backstory?
Of course.
Like,
Of course, yeah.
rape victims that end up having children, like you said,
Yeah.
became a Navy SEAL. But at the end of the day, that's not everyone. Some
Exactly,
people,
it's not everyone.
Some people grow up in nice households where it's like,
And it's never going to be everyone, but as we talked about earlier, I don't do generalizations about anything. I think everything is individualism and
Thank
individual
you.
experience.
so we all
Serious
agree on
shit.
that topic.
Yeah, of
it should all
course.
be
Serious
about-
shit.
But federally funding abortion is a generalized.
I don't want it
answer
federally
to,
funded.
solution or whatever problem, whatever.
I
you
don't
wanna
want it
call
federally funded unless
Mm.
the girl was raped and was so, like, unmentally.
Yeah, but even
like,
there could be individual privatized charities for.
I agree with that.
situations and
I agree with
cases
that.
Like that.
Have the
Because once the government
options-
is involved, it does not work.
Right.
And so
Have
civil
the
rights suffer
options.
degree of themselves too.
have the options available. That's
Charity
all I
can
say.
be privatized. It doesn't need to be from the federal government. It doesn't need to be from tax
Very
dollars.
true, yeah, that's
Again,
very true.
again,
GoFundMe is a very common way to get money for individual people who have experienced bad things in life.
You know what all this plugs into? With the exception of rape victims. With the exception of rape victims.
Talk to me.
With the exception of rape victims.
Talk
Just
to
making
me,
sure they
talk
hear
to
me. My bad. I wanted to put such a stamp on that because, trust me, that is a beast within itself that we're dealing with.
But
That
also imagine being the product of a rape and you get on the internet and you see that everyone thinks you should have been aborted. but your mother was
In the-
courageous enough to have
the-
raised you. That's a
Individualism.
bad feeling too.
Individualism.
But that's the
again.
thing, though. That's what I'm telling you. Like how he says, it's an individual. It should be a
Yeah,
choice.
You know?
Uh-huh.
I agree.
It should
I
be a
do
choice.
agree.
So if
we
a
can't
girl
generalize rapes also because a lot of people do not believe in
it's all
been
about-
raped
There's a lot of false
Yeah.
accusations. There's a lot of
Yeah.
false
That's it.
accusations.
That's
and that's why if you gotta take it to that extent,
Right.
you know, you gotta take it to that extent. Be sure you're telling the truth. This is what I was gonna say. All of that ties into self accountability. Again, with the exception of rape victims.
Which if they were allowed to practice their Second Amendment, you know.
Yeah, if they're allowed to practice the Second Amendment,
They might not have.
ain't no bitch getting raped. Hell no. What?
Granny gonna be packing next time.
Exactly, B.
It's true.
How the fuck?
No more snatching person.
Mm-hmm.
But all right,
I don't want nothing bad to happen to women, and I call women out on their bias. That's what I do. And on record,
I
right
like this
now,
comment right here.
any female who gets angry at me for calling out bias, you're being emotional, you're being unrational. You know, the statistics prove it. Again, false allegations and all type of shit. So accountability. Want to put that shit out
this
as
is
We
well.
also have to
Comments.
mention that abortion rates are on the decline over the past few years as well, and it is not due to a Republican in office. It's just on the decline.
God bless
Thank
you,
you,
God bless
thank
Johnstone's
you.
Plan B,
Because
whatever,
Republicans want
whatever.
to try to take credit for everything when it's not even
Sandra
like
Mack
that.
said, and what adult has the right to tell a child that their life is not valuable because they will have struggles in life or live in poverty? We were
That's
talking about that
respectful.
earlier.
That's respectful.
When is it truly okay to abort a baby because it's too painful for an adult to deal with it? We all have struggles. That is where my mindset is at in terms of this as well.
That's true. That's true.
Like I said, more than anything,
Life is
I lead
valuable,
with
even rape victims and product of rape. Just saying, as a woman, she's saying that. You know.
Right.
I lead with the option for abortion up until heartbeat.
Yeah.
Along with that, more than anything, I encourage the immediate access to Plan B if any misfortune occurs.
That's
I'll
fair.
leave that at that.
I don't agree, but hey, you have the right to feel that way.
Yeah, and then it will come to a vote. That's all. Let it come to a
I'm
vote.
not going to impose my beliefs upon you. You're not going to impose
I'm
your
not.
beliefs upon
That's
I'm
me.
the
not.
beauty of
What-
libertarians.
And I like what
Yes,
Sandra
thank
Mack said
you.
again. And if men care and value life, maybe they wouldn't be raping women at all.
Yeah, I never raped no shorty. Yo, let me
We
tell
don't
you.
rape women here.
We do not rape
Let's be
women.
honest.
We are full blown protecting women. We
Yes,
believe
sir.
women are fully capable of
We
protecting
support
themselves.
2A,
We
100%.
support the Second Amendment, which empowers the woman more than any other thing,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, existable.
Well, unfortunately, there's not enough good gentlemen as ourselves in the world, and there's evil in the world. But
Of
that is
course,
the
and we gotta
game of
clap
things. There's
'em.
good in the bad, there's bad in the
That's
good, and
it.
it's all in balance
Yeah,
always.
if they don't wanna agree with diplomacy and fixing behavior, they gotta get clapped because they're gonna keep doing evil. You don't let evil thrive. If your car needs an oil change, you
We
get
gotta
that
try
oil
to.
change.
We gotta try to change them first before they get
Diplomacy,
clapped. Yeah.
diplomacy,
And Democratic politicians.
along with Republicans, because
Yeah. to an
access to
extent.
abortion was bipartisan.
It was.
Right.
It
Yeah,
was.
no, I'm
And-
holding the Republicans
and
accountable, B.
Ruth Bader
And I'm not a
Ginsburg
Democrat for
said
shit.
that abortion, Roe v. Wade was passed not because of a woman's right issue, but because they thought that there was too. I mean, I could pull up the direct quote if we need.
Go ahead.
But we thought that there was too many overpopulations of undesired population. She said. I'll find the exact quote. RBG on Roe v. Wade. Let's
All
see
I'm
exactly what she
saying
said.
is-
and this only further proves eugenics is the reason, white supremacy is the reason for abortion, and they've convinced people that is a constitutional right, whatever it may be. Not true. They
All I'm
didn't want. Here, look. Frankly, I had thought at the time Roe was decided, there was concern about population growth, and particularly growth in populations that we don't want to have too many of. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court.
That's perfectly
And
fine.
the feminists love her, but
That's
But at the
understandable.
end of the day, it's a woman's right. At the end of the day, we don't even have a say in this. Because
yeah,
we're all
Yeah,
men.
exactly.
But
We're all
what if they
men.
convince us that we could shoot ourselves too? You know,
That's
like
the
that,
choice. People shoot themselves, you know,
I
God.
don't call it pro-choice, I
bless.
call it pro-life, and I call it pro-death. Because at the end of the day, that's just me, but that's how I see it.
The reason it's
I
called
understand.
pro-choice.
I know where you're coming from.
And I get you,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
reason it's called pro-choice because it is a choice,
It's
a
because it's
decision being
marketing
made.
to me.
It's a decision
It's
being
just a
made.
I'm
nice
pro. Let
marketing.
everybody do what the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, let them do
That's
as they
right.
please
I'm not
individually.
stopping anyone from doing it.
Right,
I can
right.
encourage people to not, but at the end of the day, I don't control anybody.
Yeah,
I'm just a guy on a podcast right now. So, you know?
Right.
Yeah, B. You know, it's just topics that we
A
touching
very
on.
smart guy at
Yeah.
that.
At the end of the day, you know what libertarianism is about? That motherfucking porcupine right there. It's about live and let be. So this shows, yo, being full blown yes man is agreeing on everything. There's things you're gonna disagree on. Do you like ice cream, my brother?
Yes, I do.
I do not like
I
ice
don't
cream.
like that.
But you
You're
know
wrong
what?
on
That's
that.
fair.
And I'm gonna make it a law that you have to like ice cream.
That's not
That's the
libertarian.
law.
That's very Republican of you. Well, also Democrat as well.
You better
I
enjoy
shit on the
ice cream.
Democrats.
Mostly Democrat, because you know, let's not forget that Republicans
They
have
they
done more than the
choose.
Democratic Party historically.
Nah,
So
they choose. They pick and choose what to act
they
upon.
do. They definitely do. However, they are more aligned morally than the Democrats are.
I disagree there because look, the Democrats got the media, the
And
Democrats
that's
got the
very
entertainment
immoral as well.
industry, the Democrats got the
All
majority of the educational system.
They've been the favorite for years, bro. That's what it is. And you know how they became the favorite? By giving people a false narrative where it's like, all right, we're gonna give you this and this and that. Section
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, I
We're gonna
don't
give you
fall for
EBT.
false
Something else we can get
narratives.
into: free health care. Everyone wants COVID vaccines, but if we look into the Tuskegee experiment, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. That was a experiment perpetrated by the government in which they told Black Americans they would be providing free health care, and they injected them with syphilis just to watch how their bodies would handle the
And
syphilis.
some of them survived.
And that is, some of them survived, yes, but
Mhm.
many of them, the program was defunded, and many of them were just stuck with.
Yeah, they were
this
asked out.
disease.
Exactly. That's
And that
government
was
overreach.
the government giving free health care.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because you can't trust the government.
That's why you
I
gotta
don't
relax on the
trust-
government power. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the more
Libertarian
power
shit again.
Yep.
Libertarians abide by the United States Constitution. The United States Constitution reduces government overreach. It's setting boundaries on everything. That's all it's doing is setting boundaries on. Yo, you can have your Second Amendment. Don't go shooting nobody for no reason.
Right.
Shoot only in self-defense. If you're not starting the problem, whoever started the problem basically said, yo, I'ma fuck with you, B.
Right.
And in me fucking with you, you are full blown within your right to react, respond, and
Cause and effect.
yeah, cause and effect. Do as you please to me because right now I'm not taking your existence into consideration.
Yep.
You feel me? You gotta be considerate of others.
Right.
You feel me? And that applies to everything. You know, when it comes to good cop, bad cop, and shit, I say police need massive reform, and I could explain abolishment, but I don't take away from the good cops. But what I do say to people that just want to leave cops as is, what do you tell those
Well,
who
I
have
don't want to leave it as is. I'm
Not
going
at
to
all.
provide
Exactly.
my perspective on this now. And before
Reform,
I ever discuss
right or wrong.
anything about police, I like to start off by saying there are really good cops out there.
There are really
Yeah,
good
no,
cops
To be
out there. Yes,
recognized
they are.
because too many of them are not recognized. And I'll continue by saying defunding or abolishment is not the answer, because full-on abolishment
I
does
agree.
not work, because there must be some sort of law enforcement, because there's very bad people out there who need to be locked away.
I'll
and need to be
disagree with that,
enforced.
and I'll explain why.
And also on top of that, defunding the police does not make anything better. If anything, we need more funding for better training. I was watching something recently in which they said that police should spend 20 or 25% of their job training, getting better, there needs
How
to
to
be
deal with
more
scenarios.
training, because they're not trained enough,
Right,
in my
right.
opinion, and
They're
many
not.
others' opinions too. If we fund them more, if we provide them with more resources, more training, more time with the communities, asking how they would like them to, there's a war on police, perpetrated by the media, of course.
Led by the
And,
lefts.
Yes, exactly. And also, you can't full on say back the blue, because that's such a broad statement, and it takes away from the fact that there is bad law enforcement out there as well. So back the blue is wrong, and so is defunding as well.
Okay.
Constitutionally speaking, abolishment is the answer. However, as Mr. Sharp would say, people don't care about the Constitution anymore.
People don't care about the Constitution because it is something that when we have parents and school indoctrination camps teaching kids more about Santa Claus than the United States Constitution,
Yep.
of course people aren't going to care because they're not informed on it. People don't care about their health until they're informed. Yo, if you put this shit in your body, it dehydrates you, it fucks you up, it damages your kidneys, it could fuck with your blood. It
Here
could
we
de-
are.
It could delay. Nah, but this is the thing. Moderation is fine, but there's some shit you shouldn't be putting. How many people eat healthy like a motherfucker? You could drink and all that because you're compensating for it. You're basically, what's the word?
Anything in excess
Washing.
is bad.
Yeah,
I
anything
guess,
in excess
I
is
eat
bad.
lots of fast food, but I take my supplements and I exercise on a
There
daily
you
basis.
go.
So
There you
things are
go.
balanced.
Anything in overly excess is bad, which again reverts back to the individual. Are there good individual cops? Yes. I said I would disagree with you by saying police are overfunded. I have friends that work in the military, that work in federal government agencies that enforce certain laws. That I swear to God, with God as my witness, they all say local police departments have way better benefits, have way more leverage. Federal agents, all it takes is one fuck up. One or two fuck ups and they're gone. Military, one fuck up and you're gone. So that's one. Number two, federal.
Higher standards.
They're held to higher standards, and you know what? They're dealing with way more lethal shit than the average police officer. You feel me? They're not treated with as much leverage as the average police officer.
Yeah.
The average NYPD or a local town, city, municipality, a rural police officer, they have more leverage and more immunity than these people. You fuck up in the military one time, boom, gone. Federal agencies, they do a neighborhood interview. Like, they talk to your neighbors and all that. Have you seen any type of misbehavior?
So here's what I want to say to add to that, right?
Go ahead.
Do you think people that are doing the jobs to protect society should have any sort of, like, I guess, special treatment, or not special treatment? I want to say more like
Benefits.
right. I feel like some of those things go hand in hand.
Benefits, yes.
Because
This is
even
why.
privatized jobs have benefits too.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Value of
Thank
healthcare,
you.
education, things
Right.
like that.
Thank you.
But also, we have to realize that there are a lot of local law enforcement, sheriffs, stuff like that, who during this whole COVID thing did not enforce any of the regulations they were told to. They didn't enforce the mask wearing. They didn't enforce the social. They told people, live your lives how you want, and we will protect you from the larger government agencies who want to come in here and shut down your towns and businesses. And that needs to be recognized as well.
Of course.
Because although we live in a big and New York City is a big city,
Right.
a fascist city at that, run by De Blasio, Cuomo, and
Larry
we're not
Sharp,
in the
we need
right
Larry
place.
Sharp
We
come
do need
2022.
Larry Sharp, we do.
Definitely
Larry Sharp. For those who didn't hear it, Larry
do.
Sharp.
Libertarian Larry
But
Sharp.
also that-
Yes.
Larry Sharp.
Historically speaking as well, big cities were always the more fascist ones as well because there's high crime, a lot of high population.
Of
and
course.
Unfortunately, people think that the answer to that is more law enforcement regulation. Maybe it's
Which
not.
is wrong.
That's a
course.
lie. Yeah.
And
But
it's
it's
all,
nothing
again,
new.
mathematics.
And
It's
they have
nothing
they
new.
have the
Mathematics.
strongest laws
Yeah.
against guns.
Go back to England, ancient England. I mean, London was high in crime and they had lots of police, and you go out into the mountains in England.
You
and
got
there's
less
law
police.
enforcement, Yeah,
Right.
but also because it's a less dense population as well.
But this is
Sometimes
the
it
thing.
just goes hand in hand. We're the type of people, we shouldn't be living in New York City. We should be in the mountains of Montana
Technically,
somewhere.
the way
I'm
we
gonna-
think,
I'm
we
gonna
think,
disagree.
We
And I'll
can't
explain why.
change New York City right now. This
Yes,
is
we
the
can.
fix for New York. It's going to take some time though.
It's going to take some time, but you got to start.
Of course, yeah. And
Definitely.
we're starting by
Larry-
recognizing
We're planting the
issues as
seed
well.
with this podcast.
Larry is the start, along with Larry. People want me to run for Bronx Borough President next year. I don't want to. Before anybody says that I'm blowing smoke up my ass, wrong. I don't want to run for anything for a minimum another 4 years. All right, so let's get that out the way right now. Because when you try to identify things, people try to spin things, try to put words in your mouth which are completely incorrect. Okay, so all right, constitutionally, the United States citizens are to be called upon where they have a big gathering, they identify the issue, and then they decide how to react to that. They're the law enforcement, the United States citizen. When you are called upon to mobilize, because there's a hole in the ship, what are the sailors gonna do? You're gonna call another ship to come fix it, or you're just gonna be there? No. All right. Can I agree with the existence of a peacekeeping entity? Yes, I can. You use the massive key word, sheriffs. Sheriffs are constitutional, but even within the Constitution, you could look it up. They're an option. They're not an obligation. Local police departments get way more leverage and immunity than sheriffs. In the Second Amendment rally, sheriffs in Virginia showed up and they got penalized for that. They were put on more stricter watches. They started combating them because they were gonna go through with a raise. I believe it was. You could look it up. The Virginia sheriffs. What was the consequence for them supporting the Second Amendment rally? Right.
We need to look towards the good sheriffs and good law enforcement as examples and build off of that rather than constantly calling out just the bad. Because on social media, in the news, they only point out the bad. There's only negatives. We have to recognize the good and look at that towards leadership and accept that, and people will trust the good and more will want to be good as well.
I will agree with that.
Constantly demonizing everyone only builds more tension between law enforcement and the community.
I will agree with that, but at the same time, a lot of these laws that people are being arrested for, which all of them are statute, actually. Well, actually, with the exception of murdering innocent life.
How about the war against drugs?
Yes, exactly. War against drugs
but that
is
wasn't
statute.
started by law enforcement.
It wasn't started by law enforcement. All right, look up right now, and not in a disrespectful manner. It's just he gets straight to the point because the title is kind of, depending on the individual, they could take out they want to take it. Maj Toure, what is a bootlicker? And I do not mean that in a disrespectful manner, but he says it. Police are the front line of government enforcement.
It's true, unfortunately.
They are choosing to execute the action. If somebody tells you right now, yo, I'll give you $100 to go smack the shit out of that person over there, you still went and did it.
Right.
You know? You still went and did it for compensation.
I'm just doing my job. I know where you're coming from.
So why you don't unite in mass? And on top of that, y'all are unconstitutional. It's factually proven y'all unconstitutional. Y'all were created through statute. The only constitutional law enforcement entity which is an option are sheriffs. The people vote for it.
But shout out to Maj Toure and his Black Guns Matter.
Yeah, shout out Maj Toure.
In which he goes
shout out
to
Maj Toure.
Black American communities around the country and teaches them how to, get firearm licensing.
There you go.
Safety, and that's really good what he does. So, I don't agree with everything he says, but
that's
I agree with him on that.
You guys like ice cream. I don't like ice cream. Maj might not like ice cream. He might like ice cream, and I'll be the one that doesn't like ice cream. Again, what do libertarians always revert back to?
Live and let live.
Live and let live. The individual, which is the basis, the foundation of the United States Constitution. Live and let live. Limited government. Government should just be a representation internationally, pardon me, to what this nation is about. Right. And shit. And then we take it from there, along with making sure that the rights of the individual are honored, preserved, and defended to the fullest extent. Everything after that is pure statute, unless process of amendment occurs, which has not occurred in a really long time.
All right, so speaking about, let's talk about weed legalization now.
Well, as Joe Jorgensen and many libertarian politicians put it, it's not about legalization, it's just about ending prohibition.
Yep, and
prohibition. We're in a state where, not even a state, a country where marijuana is prohibited, and if you look back to why, that's because during alcohol prohibition, marijuana became very popular. They ended prohibition of alcohol, but not enough people were buying alcohol again because they were using marijuana, so they had to criminalize marijuana in order to make people go back to using alcohol.
Wow, it was all a scam the whole time, B.
Do you guys have like research, like proof for this?
I'll try and pull something up.
Cause I feel like marijuana can be used in so many ways, bro, medicinally. You feel me? So why is it so illegal? It's more illegal than something that actually harms you, you know?
Yeah, not because these people have an agenda. Marijuana within itself, because even though I'm full-blown anti-war on drugs, period, right. I do not sniff cocaine, I do not do heroin, I do not pop pills, I do not do meth, nothing. All I do is smoke weed and drink. That's it. That's all I do.
Not a bad
pay
person.
bills. Pay taxes and pay bills.
Exactly. You know? And that's taxation without representation. Because
is also a big problem.
Exactly. How the fuck I'm paying taxes and you're not allowing me to choose? You're not representing my individual constitutional rights.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck all that shit. We are anti-unconstitution as fuck. You feel me? This is not no fucking bias and nothing. No, United States Constitution, freedom of choice. You know why? Because not everybody likes what the other person likes.
Did you
know?
guys know that marijuana or hemp was being used to create rope, and it's some of the strongest rope?
Yup.
Yeah, you can-
It's
Yeah,
great for
yeah.
clothing. You don't harm
Yeah,
animals
Something that we need to
anymore.
credit Donald Trump for is the legalization of hemp being used for manufacturing purposes.
Let's go, Trump.
Paper, rope, any clothing. I mean, that it was
Props to
illegal
Trump.
up until the Trump administration.
Props to
To
Trump
use
on that.
hemp as a plant to create anything, fabric, anything like that.
Cause my whole thing with Trump is that when you have another candidate that's telling you, yo, I'm gonna take actions much quicker. I'm showing up to y'all in person. All I need is the votes and shit.
Right.
And I have already seen what the tap dancer over here has done for us.
Right.
I don't want to deal with that no more. If you have one restaurant that says, yo, we'll have your food ready in 2 or 3 hours, but then you have another, look what I just did. YouTube told me 24 hours. Facebook said right now. What did I choose? Bang. I want to execute. You know why? A lot of innocent entities are being harmed in the process when it comes to animals with the war on drugs, when it comes to individuals with anti-Second Amendment. Second Amendment should be full-blown,
Right.
including cities, including New York City, including any densely populated area anywhere on the planet. Why? Because again, it all comes back to accountability. Parenting comes back to accountability. Sex, I never got a girl pregnant.
Let's hold everybody accountable.
Accountability. I'm not sugarcoating
So,
shit.
speaking-
I'm not infringing on nobody's rights.
So speaking about Trump, this is just a perspective.
Go ahead.
I honestly feel like Trump is not a puppet, but he has a really great team, and that's why most of the things he does sometimes seem radical, or seem like he'll say one thing and then his team will say another thing. I feel like ultimately he has a good team, and I feel like all right, these next 4 years, I think can we all agree that he's gonna win this election?
Oh yeah, more than likely,
I
yeah.
agree, and I'm not mad at that at all. I hope he does win.
Right.
Him
Oh,
over
I'm
Biden,
on
hands
this-
down.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, continue.
But at the same time, we can all agree that the best candidate is Joe Jorgensen.
Thank you. Yes,
We
thank
got
you.
it on that.
As long as we got that on record, thank you. And this is why Trump has way more than enough votes. You gotta be crazy to not think that more than 80% likely he'll win.
Right.
But that's why we gotta play our part for our party, because there's always a possibility. People make buzzer beaters. If JoJo pulls off a buzzer beater, wow! And
Well, the way I see it modernly is that the Democratic Party is full on gone communist.
oh hell yeah, the Democrats are gone.
The
Fuck
Republicans
that.
are moving left,
You
and the
got-
Libertarians are holding the hard right now.
That's true.
I
More
say,
conservative than the conservatives.
oh yeah, they're more conservative than the conservatives. I say fuck. I say
Pro religion at least. Pro Christianity.
Yeah, pro-religion in general. I mean,
yeah, in general, because you got Islamic and Jewish and Buddhist and a few more, just
The Democrats
general.
are trying to stop.
Democrats are by far the fucking worst.
well, going
But
back
that-
going back into law enforcement real quick, I just want to bring that up real quick because at the end of the day, if you look at the amount of citizens killed by law enforcement, the numbers are not what you think it would be.
It's not about the numbers killed.
And on this show, we should recognize that the real issue is
Oh,
citizen
damn
on citizen crime.
Democrats.
Too many people kill each other.
Right.
The police aren't the number one killer of anything.
There's really people that know
It's
each
people
other.
that kill each other.
Yeah, I never run by that. My whole thing is I see the infringements occurring,
Yeah,
the
but you don't have to-
records
it
being
doesn't
ruined
bother me because the numbers are just not there to provide
for
that.
war on drugs.
For war on drugs, yes. Just
Okay.
in general,
But do we really have coverage on people killing each other as much as we have?
we don't. We don't
people-
talk about it. I
Exactly.
mean, we should use this platform to talk about it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even that's Second Amendment within themselves, and then we investigate.
Yeah,
Who
but
was
we
the
like to blame
innocent
police
party?
for killing, and then we go on and kill ourselves anyway,
But either way,
and abort ourselves.
Okay,
We never
okay,
get to where we wanna
okay,
be in life.
You
okay.
know, right now, New
I'm gonna
York,
tell y'all right now.
New York is up there as far as crime rate.
Of
Right now,
course.
New York
That's
is
lies.
right up.
That's absolutely lies.
No, it's
And I'll
not.
tell y'all why. You know why?
Okay.
You know why? The beginning of this year, what does any year always start with?
New Year's, I don't know.
No, I just want to say no, winter.
Oh yeah.
What's everybody doing during the winter?
They're cooped up in their house.
In the crib.
Right.
What came
Well, the
right?
summer brings out the crime rate, of course.
What came right after the winter?
Explain.
Spring.
Okay.
What started happening during spring? That the tangible date on it that everything like shut down, I believe, was March 26th. At that point, what are we in the beginning of?
And what else went into effect
We're
on
talking
that day
about
of the
season,
shutdown?
basically.
No, along with the season,
You talking about
along-
the COVID shutdown date?
the COVID shutdown.
What else happened on that day too that needs to be addressed? On that date, Governor Cuomo, Lord Cuomo, whatever you want to call him, signed
Fuck
into
Cuomo,
effect
by the
that
way.
he is now going to be the richest governor.
Yeah, he gave himself a motherfucking
He
raise.
gave himself a
Yeah.
raise. On
Alright,
the day
so-
that he shut down private businesses and
So
But the
people's
problem
livelihoods.
is we have the older generations back in Cuomo.
they started to wake
It's a
up.
younger
They started to wake
generation
up.
too, though. A lot
No,
of
no.
young people look up to Cuomo for some crazy reason because they watch too much CNN and Washington.
Oh
Post.
yeah, okay, that part I'll agree
False-
with.
the false
Okay,
media.
so my bad. Before we
It's all
go,
fake news.
before we take
Right.
it, before we take it in that direction, let me just come back to put the stamp
Okay,
on
okay.
this.
Go ahead,
All right, spring started, right?
bro. Go ahead.
Shutdown, right? Spring just started. What do people do in spring that they don't do in winter? Go out.
Yeah.
You do a shutdown, people ain't going out. So right there, you have all those analytics low as fuck, right?
So you think the COVID scenario, that's the reason why the spike in crime rate?
Well, along with that, there's another piece
Could be,
to it
for sure.
as well.
That's a big,
That's another piece
People
to
are
it, but
angry, they're
but-
locked up.
but
Home
that
arrest
that'll
for so
be
long.
that'll be the conspiracy direction of taking things.
okay.
So I'd rather go by numbers.
Go ahead.
You have 6 months already that you have people stuck in the house,
Okay.
right? Because the scare began like mid to late winter, so people were already more cautious. People were shopping less, going out less, getting what they needed to get, seeing the fuck home. And then when the full-blown stamped shutdown came, everybody was forced to stay inside. Where you was gonna go, everything was closed, and there was even penalties depending upon the infringement officers that you came across for violating these restrictions of leaving the household unless for pure necessity
Right.
and shit. All right. Summer begins and some of the bans start being lifted. More freedom is available. Along with that, we have instances that occurred that kicked off riots. Analytically, you're gonna see a massive spike because you kept everything. If I keep a track muted for the first 30 minutes, the next hour and a half, of course, its analytical percentage is gonna be higher in volume.
That makes sense. I know where you're
Yeah.
coming from. I know
So
where you're coming from.
That's why I always revert back more than anything tangibles.
Alright,
Tangibles.
But on top of all of this, I just feel like all the states that are anti-gun rights, they just all seem to have the higher crime rate.
They're
Of
anti-gun,
course,
and
because
they have
why?
law enforcement.
They have
That
the most
proves
things.
it.
They want
That
us killing
proves it.
ourselves, first and
That
foremost.
proves it.
That's
You know
fair.
why? Good people always against the law. They're not gonna go get armed.
Right.
Even though each state has some type of 2A, people don't want to jump through them hassles when there's way more analytically,
Right.
numbers wise, more laws that could get you in trouble for exercising your constitutional right than there are laws in favor of preserving your constitutional right. People where these instances occur at, they're not going to arm themselves. You know who is going to arm themselves? The bad guys.
True.
So of course right there.
They're gonna get
What-
on regardless.
What do
Criminals
bullies?
don't follow laws. So
Exactly,
they're not gonna
criminals
follow
don't follow
gun
laws.
Only
And these-
gun
and
laws
these-
only hurt good people. And historically
Thank
speaking,
you.
gun laws were only
Thank
ever created because they wanted to limit slaves from purchasing firearms to kill their masters.
Boom!
It's
Thank
the same
you.
thing modernly speaking.
Thank
Because
you.
if Rabbis are, we march
Mhm.
over to Cuomo's house, and
Right.
but we can't. You know, so
How they used to do. If I put up Assassin's Creed 3 right now, that game was made in 2011. Obama was president.
Yeah.
So it can't be, oh, it's a Trump.
yeah.
It's a Trump it's a Trump connection there. It's a Trump motive. No, the fuck is not. I've been shitting on Trump like crazy lately. You already know why. Tangibles again. I don't do feelings. I don't do beliefs. I don't do.
How do you guys feel about QAnon? So we're talking about Trump.
I mean,
Um,
I love QAnon.
Do you think the QAnon is legit though? Like, is he really the
Well,
guy?
I don't know
behind
what
QAnon?
I don't know if it's somebody or someone
Give me
in
a
the
few seconds.
military,
Continue.
but what it's done for people is incredible. It's opened their minds that the news is fake, that pedophilia is at an all-time high.
Right.
There's a lot of evil, corrupt politicians out there, and Q calls out people, whoever Q is,
Right.
calls out Democrats, Republicans, calls out corrupt politicians in general.
You know
And
what?
they fear that, the mainstream media and politicians, because they are the ones who are going to you know, they're going to be the ones that are exposed by all this stuff.
My
The
whole
hunters
issue.
become the hunted. Look at Hunter Biden now. That was a cue job years ago.
Hunter Biden, thank you.
The
Speaking
hunters
about
become the hunted was a cue job I don't know how long ago. And now look at Hunter Biden becoming the hunted.
He's the guy.
And Twitter, Jack Dorsey has shut down the New York Post Twitter account until they delete articles exposing Hunter Biden.
Right.
So social media censorship is real. I'm surprised we're still on now. We probably don't have a big enough following, but they're going to shut us down pretty soon too. If we're doing something right, they'll censor us. So.
Right. We'll get enough following where people will share us enough, and they're going to try to
Hopefully
shut us up. But as far as Hunter Biden, supposedly the guy has been having sex with children.
with underage children in Asia, and that's why they love China. And in the Ukraine, now the whole quid pro quo where they tried to blame Trump and impeach him, that was Joe Biden.
So Biden in office, and for all you guys watching, Biden in office would just be a blackmail to all these other countries.
Yeah.
You know. So what's the point? Like between all of us, even Cash, like we can all agree that Trump is the better option than
Of course,
Biden.
yeah.
You know, but
In a perfect world, Jorgensen would win.
Yeah.
She is the most constitutional of the presidential
the
candidates.
following
That's
has to
what we
grow
need.
more.
Exactly. I mean, and Trump was an outsider to D.C. He's not a lifelong. He's not. Biden's been in office for 47 years. Now he's going to fix everything. No. Trump's only been in office 4 years, and he's done more than Biden. And if you add up Biden, Pelosi, AOC, every leftist Democrat, Trump's done more to help people than any of them combined.
I can agree with that. Yo, well, what are we getting in the comments? You see any
Let's see what people are
comments?
saying. I don't think anyone said anything recently.
Nothing yet? Okay.
Nothing yet. They're just watching us.
So basically, all right. So we got into the whole Trump Biden scenario.
And I'm a big Trump supporter because of the Q movement originally. I was a hard-leaning libertarian, and the Q movement opened my eyes to the fact that he is doing things to fight child trafficking in this country, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
There really isn't though. And pedophilia didn't really have such a big audience to it
Yeah.
till Trump came into office.
Look at Harvey Weinstein. What medal is it that Obama gave him? Do you know what it is, Cash?
It was
They awarded people who raped people.
the
Obama.
blue medal. What was it?
Insane, bro.
Is
Medal
that
of Freedom.
Is the Medal of Freedom.
Mhm.
A rapist.
Honorary Medal of Freedom.
So how just is Obama really?
Well, that brings into Pizzagate and everything. Why was he taking in $65,000 worth of
Hot dogs.
Right.
What does that mean? Did Barack Obama and Michelle Obama eat $65,000 worth of hot dogs?
Right.
I don't know what that means. Maybe we're just conspiracy theorists, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with thinking things through and realizing that there genuinely is something wrong.
Right.
Because even if Pizzagate isn't real, they still gave, what is it called? A medal, what is it? Medal of
Medal of Freedom.
Medal of Freedom, yeah,
Honorary
which is
Medal
a
of Freedom.
presidential award to a rapist.
Anything and
And you
everything.
can't tell me they
is
didn't know
question.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Of course. I mean, as far as Obama and the whole Biden administration and Democrats, period, I feel like they just want to keep us, the citizens, captured.
They only
relying
divided
on the government.
Americans more. And now they're blaming Trump for it. It's the Medal of Freedom.
They're the ones that keep raising this whole idea that America is more racist.
Yeah,
than
they
it
want a
really
race
is.
war. And
You know?
it's like we talked about the Civil War earlier, but before we even started the show,
Right.
the Civil War was fought upon taxation, and somehow it became about slavery and racism and stuff like that. Just as now, it's about money. So it's always about money. But they want to impose that race war because it puts people in fear of their neighbors and those around them.
They're the ones that are going to
And
start
it's
a
the
second
media.
civil war.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
know?
the media. And they tell people that because of their skin color that other people don't like them, but then people don't care for the most part. Yeah, there's racist people out there.
Right.
People can be racist as long as they don't actively harm others. You don't want to like someone because their skin color, don't. But don't go burning down their house or and then there's a problem, and then there needs to be punishments for that.
I mean, I don't have scientific proof of this, but I can, from my personal experience, we all have personal experiences. I feel like at least 80% of the U.S. is racist, but nobody acts upon it. Like, everybody has ideals of what another race is like, because if
there's
you're not a certain race,
stereotypes,
you don't
but
know
not
what
all of
they're
them are
going through.
harmful too.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
Right,
if you
right.
want to be a racist, go ahead. Be as long as you're not fucking with nobody.
That ass.
Yeah.
That's what America is.
But
built
then we
on,
have
man.
great
Freedom.
leaders like Candace Owens in this country who are doing what they can to enlighten the Black American community and let them know that racism is not their biggest fear.
Right.
Things like abortion, things like black on black crime to the Black American community are the biggest threats to the Black American community.
Right.
Drug abuse, anything like that she speaks about.
R.P. King Face, man. King Face.
King
Yeah,
Face was a
King
big
Face,
member of the
yeah.
Brexit movement and even New York City itself.
Right up. I like Candace Owens also because Candace Owens, she brings back that whole family aura. We're supposed to have a big support of
Mhm.
family, just family period.
And leftists have destroyed the family dynamics by
Exactly.
taking the father out of the home and rewarding the woman for being on welfare, for being single.
And
One of the
women
clauses to be on welfare is
comply.
you must be single. So
Right.
of course they're going to divorce their husband, take all the money, and then keep taking the money in
They're
themselves
weighing their
too.
options. That's
Exactly.
what honestly was going on.
And
If you get more benefits by not being with a man, why be with a man?
it's rewarded to be single and raise your kids in a single home, which only messes up the kids mentally. We talk about Santa Claus being bad for kids. Well, a bigger problem than believing in Santa Claus is growing up in a single parent home.
Removing the father out of the house. And I feel like
Now, how
father
do we-
figures aren't at least in today's day and age, they aren't as supported as mother figures are, and they're not
No, not at
acknowledged
all.
as much.
And even in court.
There's a lot of single fathers also
Exactly.
raising their kids on their own.
Mhm.
Yup.
That they have to fight for the rights to the
Yeah,
kids.
there's no
because-
50-50 custody.
Right.
Why doesn't a woman pay child support? Why is it always the man that has to pay child
Mhm.
support?
There's like exceptions.
Yeah, but not enough.
Right.
You know?
Right. It should be an even playing
And
field.
a big libertarian aspect, which is another reason I like Jo Jorgensen, is she's big on fathers' rights.
Right.
She recognizes that and she wants to do what she can to help fathers win court cases and custody battles and stuff like that.
We gotta
It's
get
very
an artist
important.
bigger. We gotta get an artist bigger.
We need somebody like, let's talk about Ice Cube now, as we were talking about him
Yes,
earlier.
yes.
Somebody who is meeting with both Biden's campaign and Trump's campaign, who's now leaning towards Trump's campaign simply because the Trump campaign actually said they're willing to work with him. The Biden campaign brushed him off, so they'll work with him after the election because they think they're going to win. Which, if they win, it's probably because they cheated.
Ice Cube is low key a libertarian. He doesn't
He
realize
is. He doesn't realize that. The hood is libertarian.
Right.
They like guns, they like drugs, they like money, all things that are protected by the Constitution.
Exactly.
But they don't know about the Libertarian Party, sadly. And, maybe
That's-
one day. But we
that's
need
why we're here,
we
though.
need Ice Cube to go up there and talk about Joe Jorgensen. We
Right.
need Drake, LeBron James, all these guys to, represent the Libertarian Party.
Also, since we're talking about Drake and well, not really Drake, more LeBron James and these bigger athletes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Black
athletes.
Lives Matter,
Well,
bro?
Black Lives Matter is a self-proclaimed Marxist organization.
Mm.
And Marxism is communism. Communism does not work. They feed into people's fears of their skin color. They want to
It
take
fought hand
over.
in hand with Democrats.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And they're all, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all these things go hand in hand. If you go on your phone right now,
Mm.
I'll post a video of it later on my social media. If you look up Antifa.com, you know what it's forwarded to?
What's that?
Joe Biden's website.
Wow.
I mean,
That says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot. Just that. on
and
its
that's
own.
real. Like, I
Right.
did it last night. I couldn't screen record it. My phone wasn't updated at the time. I didn't have the screen record capabilities. I'll do it later, though. I'll upload the video. Antifa.com turns into Joe Biden's website.
Wow.
What more needs to be said?
And the funny part is they want Donald Trump to denounce the Proud Boys, but they don't
The
mention
Proud Boys
Antifa.
are a Cuban anti-communist group.
Exactly.
And somehow they're white supremacists.
Exactly. That's what they turned it into. They want to make Trump
It's
look
the
like
furthest
the ultimate
from.
enemy.
Those are Afro-Cubans who just don't like communism because they've seen what it did to their own country.
Their
I
motherland.
respect
exactly.
the Proud Boys.
Same here. I feel like the media's gonna do as much as possible just to make Donald Trump look like the enemy, especially to
Because
minorities.
Donald Trump is not the enemy. An enemy of the media is an ally of the people. An ally of the media is an enemy of the people.
Right.
And too many people don't realize that.
And too many people don't realize that Donald Trump ran before he became he ran as a Republican. He ran back in the day with his own party, and that's why the importance of a third party is so
Mhm.
important. Like,
If he had run as a libertarian, can you imagine? I mean, I don't even know.
He
what
should have
thinking.
did
that would have
that.
been a blessing.
That
bro.
he
The
shoulda
thing is,
did it.
though, he didn't
Does
think
anybody
he
want
would
that
get
last
the-
Corona?
I'm good on
Yeah,
it.
bro,
I'm
dude.
just good on this for now.
I'm
But,
sipping because that nigga works,
Yeah.
Yo, if you could pass me, where is it?
You have it over here somewhere.
Did I?
Bottle opener.
Yo, Bob.
It's right here.
It's right here, bro.
Look, Speed.
This is a good talk right here. I like this talk.
But this is important because
People need
people
to
like
hear this.
LeBron James are gonna feed into LeBron James, makes how much money, tells people that they're hunted because of their skin color. You're teaching young kids who look up to you to be afraid because of their skin color. That's racist.
You're the prime example of that
It's
being
literally
a lie.
racist.
Right.
Judging someone on skin color is racist. Whether you're telling them to be scared, or you're telling them to feel empowered, skin color is just casing for who we are.
Right.
I
It doesn't
agree
mean
with that.
anything. It's pigment,
I agree with that.
and too many people don't see it that way.
Right.
There's
Well,
a-
what we gotta do is call out the people who executes
Yeah.
upon that, who creates a tangible outcome of that.
Well, I want to know who's funding all these people because why is LeBron
Well, it's gotta be
James-
Soros.
It's Soros.
It has
Of
to
course,
be.
it's Soros.
And I just want to say,
And the NBA
God
and
bless.
MLB and all them who kneel to the flag are all funded by Soros as well because
Right.
his prime job is to tear apart this country as he's done in Thailand and other countries. He's banned from other countries.
Right.
Why is he not banned from this country?
He's got
Uh,
people working for him.
because he has the United States
And he
Constitution
funds
protected.
Antifa, he funds Black Lives Matter, he funds Democrats, he
Right.
funds the NBA,
And where's
he
the
funds
money
MLB.
at? All this money that Black Lives Matter
Mhm.
generated, where the fuck is
It's
it
not
going?
doing anything for the Black American
Thank you.
community. I'm gonna read a Candace Owens tweet from
Yo, bro,
earlier today.
can you look up that albino guy that got arrested in Atlanta for that?
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot that guy's name.
He was
but-
making his own personal money using the name. Here's Candace Owens earlier today.
Okay.
Or actually, no, not even September. She said this. She just reposted it today. Black Lives Matter is an organization of white men using the faces of dead black people to raise millions of dollars towards electing white Democrats into positions of power.
Right.
It is the most flagrantly racist organization in America. That's a black woman saying that.
Right.
Not that identity politics mean anything to me, but for those who need to see skin color to identify with a politician, well, there you go.
Right.
You know?
And that's why I miss King Face being a big what do you call it, like influencer.
Voice.
He was
Yeah.
very important to the movement, and we
No.
can only carry. He would have loved to have been on the show with us,
Definitely.
but rest in peace. We love him. He was a very
Great,
dear
great,
friend and
great
brother.
man.
So,
Very,
We'll be
very
missed. Oh shit! Oh shit! Did I knock something over?
and I hope that Trump wins, and we'll be happy up there. You know,
Oh yeah.
But I'm voting for JoJo.
I'm probably gonna vote for Jorgensen as well, only
Same
because
here.
she is more constitutional. However, when Trump wins, I'll celebrate still.
Right. Right.
I don't think Biden's gonna win. I think
long
the
as
silent
Biden does not
majority
win, we're
is
good.
not even silent anymore. You see, they're marching through New York City with Trump flags now.
Right.
California, all these leftist cities are very pro-Trump now.
Shout out to Dykeman for that big billboard.
Yeah,
supporting
you
Trump.
gotta post that up there. I want to see that because that's incredible.
Dykeman, stand up, man. We're all from different parts of New York, but at the end of the day, we have similar grievances.
Mhm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
End of the day,
Which is fine, of course.
And let's get back into Marxist organizations like Black Lives Matter, and let's talk about this is the Fix from New York. This show.
Right.
Bill De Blasio's former name is Warren Wilhelm Jr.
Yeah,
And
he
he
did
was trained
change.
by
He
Marxists
did
and
change his
Other,
name.
his father was trained by Marxists in other countries, and here he is imposing Marxist values in our own city here today.
Right.
Mhm.
And this is another reason I don't blame the police because the media and the Democrats, they're good at what they do. I can't generalize police entirely. I can't generalize anybody entirely. People are misled. They're misguided, unfortunately.
I don't generalize. What I call for is the actions to be taken upon in a constitutional direction, which they continuously fail to do. So I cannot respect that. You could tell me you're gonna make a lasagna. Till you make it, there's no lasagna. It's all talk.
Yeah.
He's a lasagna lover, by the way.
I agree with that.
Y'all gonna hear a whole bunch of lasagna.
All those,
references.
the Constitution's a lasagna, right?
Yeah, the Constitution is
All
a
layered
lasagna
out and
because it's a layered out, constructed entity.
People had to
I
hear
love
it.
it, I
tangibly.
love it.
You feel me? That
People had to hear it.
yeah, be dead ass, be.
But
You know?
yeah, man. At the end of the day, we just need to do better. As far as the people, we need to be more informed. We need to inform each other instead of trying to knock each other over the head. Because I feel like a lot of the biggest problem with minorities is everybody's trying to knock each other over the head and outdo the next person.
Well, King Face used to say himself that we're our own biggest enemy.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
The
agree
people
with
closest,
that.
You're the ones that hate you the most.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
And why? How can you grow if your closest member of your circle is competing against you?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
That's
Have to
you
go
see.
together.
Thank you. Work together. This divisive competition. Oh, I
King
want to
Face was
outdo
someone who-
this motherfucker. Yo, all right. I'm good at making lasagna. What are you good at making?
In terms of food,
Yeah.
I can microwave food fairly easily.
You gonna microwave some epic
Whatever
shit.
it is,
real
yeah,
good.
Whatever it is.
What besides lasagna? What are you good at making?
Bro, I You can name anything, bro.
Alright, so let's say I'ma focus on the lasagna. You're gonna focus on the tacos, right? And you'll make the drinks. You know, at the end of the day, exactly. At the end of the day, you know what that's gonna do. You know what that's gonna do.
Zach is the guy that pulls up with the bottle. Zach is the nigga that pulls up with the bottle. No cap. No cap. Yo, Zach, y'all look at Zach, and Zach look like a regular. Trust me, this nigga is hood, bro.
We live on Instagram too, by the way, right now.
Oh,
We
yeah.
live on IG. Yup. Yo, that's fucking funny. Fucking what was I saying? Oh yeah. So at the end of the day, when everybody brings something to the table, you know what we're gonna have? A epic fucking feast.
Right.
Let's make this shit as lit as possible, cause we only have one feast life. So let's enjoy it to the motherfucking maximum.
Right.
If no innocent party is being harmed, nobody should be getting arrested. You should be fully capable and allowed to defend yourself against any threat coming to cause you any type of harm, whether financially or physically.
There's just two sides to the story always, and the media likes to focus on the one side that's the most triggering towards people of color, towards anybody, you know. And it's dangerous.
For the person in the comment section, this is the first, pilot. This is a pilot for the Fix for New York Libertarian podcast with your host, Cash First and Z-Dot. Taz right here.
I'm just the first guest for the pilot.
But he's gonna be here plenty of times.
I'll pop up.
He's here plenty of times. The man is a lot closer than you can imagine. You know, we'll keep the localizational details at a minimum, but
they don't need to know. We'll put the VPNs on this.
VPN the shit out this motherfucker. B. But yeah, you know, we've been up live for about an hour and change. YouTube pulled some silly shit which we heavily disagree with. We'll find a solution for that soon enough.
Google, and Google hates people like us. Don't forget that.
Oh, word,
That's
yeah.
True. They're afraid of free thinkers.
They are afraid of free thinkers. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take a puff to that. What? Yo, this man.
Take
you
a
see
puff for me.
You see why I love Z-Chan? You see why?
I like that nickname, Z.
Yo, and I didn't even, I didn't pull that out of my behind.
Right.
That's my Instagram.
That's literally his Instagram,
Z-Dot,
and
oh,
it
that's
fits.
Period.
It fits
It's Z and a
amazingly.
period. Because I used to like Kendrick Lamar a lot. His nickname was K Dot,
Okay.
so that's like Z Dot.
Z dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shit is amazing. And the
I mean,
dope
that's still
shit
like
is,
Kendrick Lamar a lot.
he's a great marksman as
Kendrick
well.
Lamar is.
He's
by
a
far-
great
There's a lot
marksman.
for
So
C.
you know how they say put the dot on it and bang.
Hell yeah.
Z-Dot.
I'm nasty with the rifle. I must say so myself.
I like that.
Yeah. Motherfucking facts.
We're just trying to get minorities armed, and not for the
What?
wrong reasons. For
This
the right
is a
reasons.
missile.
We're trying to get everybody with a strap so that you can protect your family instead of having to call
That's
somebody
what
else
it's
to
about,
protect
you
your
know?
family.
Exactly.
It's about self-protection and individualism.
Exactly.
If anybody minds their own business, there would be a lot less problems in the world.
Exactly. Mind your own motherfucking business. Fucks with whoever you fucks with. Whoever you don't fucks with, you don't fucks with. Stay the fuck away from each other.
There's something I want to get into, an organization called Predator Poachers. They're big on YouTube right now. What they do is
Word.
they I don't know what the word is. Like when you get someone to
They track down the pedophiles?
basically like they go on like all these dating apps and like they pretend to be underage boys and girls
I think I heard
and
of
they
that.
meet up with these people and they basically expose them and dox them and they report them to the police and everything like that.
I can support that
Yeah,
shit.
for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
They're called Predator Poachers. They're mostly out of Massachusetts, I believe. You can look up their videos on YouTube. They got someone recently. It was never proven that he was connected to Joe Biden. I would have loved for that to have been a thing, though.
I gotta go by tangibles.
He
Thank
got
you.
Biden
Thank
for
you.
some sort of-
Tangibles.
he
Motherfucking
never followed through with his
tangibles.
election, but he was running as a Democrat for some sort of state, politician in Massachusetts. At some point, he dropped out of the election. We don't know why. Maybe someone had some dirt on him, and he realized it wasn't the best interest for him to put himself out there like that. But they're exposing a lot of bad people. So shout out to Predator Poachers.
God
Doing the hard
bless.
work right there.
Shout out to
Y'all doing the work of God.
Mhm.
That.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
It's very
Let's
important.
protect
Yo,
our
Z.
children.
My bad. You can hit the fan real quick. You're gonna hit it all the way left. No political pun intended.
I don't go all the way to the left, but
Not at
the
all.
fan I
Not
will.
at all. There's nothing left about this household.
No, we are not left.
or this podcast. Really.
We are libertarians. Motherfucking libertarians.
Yes, sir.
But yeah. Anything else y'all want to touch on? And, for those tuning in here on IG, we apologize. IG only gives you an hour, so we figure we give you the second hour, but there was a lot of good stuff.
Send out the link somehow on
Find
Facebook.
us on Facebook.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And we're gonna post this up, or you have the ability to post this up on YouTube later.
Yes,
to
I do.
to
Yes, to
our
upload it.
soon-to-be
Yes.
new
The
YouTube
fuck
channel.
shit with YouTube and YouTube. I just want to say real quick, thank you for all the years you provided people a platform to stream what they want to stream.
Yeah.
Put
Shout
that
out to
disclaimer
YouTube.
out right now.
You know what's a good platform? What's that one that people use for streaming like video games?
Homeboy
Twitch.
said, man, fuck the
Twitch,
I
life.
don't think Twitch censors. I think you're allowed to go on Twitch and just stream as you please, talk about what you want.
Right.
So that's another idea in terms of where we could be. But
We'll find out.
social media censorship is real. Shout out to the app Parlay. They're not the best platform right now, but they are a conservative leaning
My bad. Let me
platform.
just stretch one leg. I'm so
They don't censor people for their beliefs.
No, that's
basically.
dope.
And that's very important.
Yeah,
Parlay,
exactly.
I never heard of that.
I don't believe
PARLAY.
in censorship, and right there, just to put the stamp on it, because some people they want to dig so hard that they'll make a tsunami out of motherfucking puddle and shit. All Joe Jorgensen said was these companies within their own individual entities, they have the right to deny service, whatever. I disagree with her saying that, but constitutionally, it's a tangible fact. The same way if you own a business or whatever, you could refuse service to whoever you want.
I do agree with that, because if you are in fear of the COVID pandemic and you want people to wear masks into your store, that is fine. However, do not do it because the government told you to.
Exactly.
What was that story of the baker in New Jersey who didn't want to make a cake for the gay couple? And
I forgot the
You know what I'm
guy's name.
talking
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I
and
forgot the
did
guy's
they
name.
force him to? Did he ever have to make
That's
that?
the
What-
guy
I
that
think
always has a
he ended
comeback.
up making it.
He ended up,
Look
and
it
that's
up.
messed up, and that's his he can deny business if he
Yeah, he
wants.
could deny.
He's a religious
I
person, he
don't-
doesn't believe in gay
I don't
marriage,
infringe
you know?
on nobody's
I
rights,
have no issue
yo.
with gay people, but if you're a biblical man, gay marriage
Yeah.
is not of the Bible, and
It should be
your right
reciprocal to
not
your
serve
belief
customers
as
like
well,
that.
B.
The people tuning in, everything you guys are hearing is very libertarian. That's what
Yeah.
libertarians stand by. It's basically do as you please and let others do as they please.
Don't
Exactly.
bother other people.
Right?
Y'all want to know what's amazing?
What's up?
Yo, it's a 2-hour podcast, and we still got 45 minutes left.
Nice. We talked about a lot.
I don't even know what to talk about anymore.
What are you
I'm
talking
just gonna go on Instagram and try and find what's going on in the world, and we'll
So-
just talk about random. We're gonna freestyle.
Yo.
Yeah, let's
Word,
freestyle
real
this.
quick, and I could freestyle even when it comes to spitting lyrics and shit. I'm gonna make it so legit and tangible just so you could catch it like this. All I wanna do is preserve the original foundation of it all. The
Right.
United States Constitution. That shit should be planted on the wall.
Mhm.
Something like that, practically perfect, should never fall. And I wanna ride this motherfucker, play ball and enjoy it all. Know what I mean? I light up the spliff and I take a good hit and I just wanna levitate while I'm enjoying this shit. Cause life is only one and I don't want it to be done with me regretting things that could have been done. Know what I mean?
Wow, that was incredible.
That was
We
a
need to
bit
get in the studio. and
quick
put that on
freestyle.
beat. Yeah,
quick
Thank
freestyle
you.
for you. Political
that was
freestyle.
incredible.
You feel me? So simple, bam, 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 then we could be getting tacos, we giving top yo.
Yes,
In the
sir.
view, we swearing all about O's. These are our O's, these are our O's,
The
these are
plugin,
our
the
O's.
plugin.
No, what do you guys? What's on your mind that we should speak about?
We can speak about anything, honestly, bro. Let's talk about how this guy Trump is bringing in more business for the U.S.
Of course.
More import than export.
Yeah, and that's very important because Democrats sold us out, especially under the
Facts.
Obama administration. Not that Bush did anything great, not that Clinton did anything great.
Yo,
not that
speaking of
Senior
Bush,
did.
I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but
Of course.
this whole thing where I'm pretty sure everybody's up to date with the whole Twin Tower situation, bro.
Yeah, Building 7.
Right. Like, did you guys hear about that
It's-
guy that basically removed funds and placed them elsewhere?
Larry Silverstein.
You heard about him, right?
Silverstein or Silverman, some shit like that.
Bro, why the fuck haven't we done anything about this yet?
Because people are not armed, people are not informed, and you got a lot of cowards who want to call
Yeah,
911
inciting people.
for any little shit. You
That
little
motherfucker should be
bitch.
locked up
Oh, no, it's just
and questioned, bro.
it's yeah, but however,
The police don't enforce. Yo, shout out real quick, and this man and I have had our differences. We were gonna, it was gonna get really ignorant at one point and shit. Shout out Daniel Chrisman. He said it in front of a bunch of cops. So you come and bring out the truth. We don't want to hear shit. Cause if y'all want to claim, they're claiming it. Even though 2 Supreme Court rulings said no obligation to do so. But we're about the people. We're here to help you and protect you. You're not protecting us from the fucking beast.
Well, I'll go on and say that I don't support Daniel Crispin.
And that's perfectly fine and shit. Like I said, he and I have had our differences. God bless him.
I'm loyal to you before I'm loyal to
and
him.
that's perfectly fine. Cause you know why? At the end of the day, if he and I have a disagreement, the parties disagreeing are he and I and shit. So right there, I'm a side with myself. You feel me? But I give credit where credit is due. Right now, I'm against Trump for the simple fact of lack of action, lack of constitutional support and enforcement. Because if anything should be enforced before anything else, it should be about the abiding of the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution that protects the individual above anything else. Again, the example I give many times. You might like ice cream. I don't like ice cream. I'm not going to infringe on your choice, your preference to like ice cream.
Infringements and mandations, let's talk about the fact that Joe Biden vowed to make a vaccine that is 85% effective mandatory.
Can I go on record?
Which is only hurting
mandatory.
85% effective, not 100%.
Yeah, not 100%. Fuck that.
And all that is a threat to the Constitution because religious people do not believe in putting. Many people aren't anti-vaccination simply for being anti-vaccination. There's lots of ingredients that people do not like within vaccinations. If it was simply the virus to help build immunity, sure. However, there's fetal cells, there's animal cells.
It's a bunch of bullshit. What the fuck are you putting inside of me? What are you putting inside of me? And it might not fuck with you right away.
Medical freedom is in jeopardy right now in this country.
Yes.
We're in a medical, tyrannical state right now. Country.
And if you're religious and you believe in the whole Revelations parts of the Bible, this is kind of
mark of
happening
the
in front of
beast.
you. Yeah, this is happening
This is
in
a mark
front
of
of
the
you.
beast. And that's my whole thing. Whoever's not taking action against the beast, yo, my mans, we're not on the same side.
Do not get chipped, by the way. If you get chipped, if you comply with getting chipped, or if you support getting chipped, bro, you're just as bad as the people that the Bible talks about, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And I just want to say once again, the candidate who wants to make the quickest actions occur against that is Joe Jorgensen. Let me put it in the other camera angle like that. Joe Jorgensen. Joe Jorgensen. Obviously, pardon me, not to be disrespectful to you. What he said was we're going to have a third camera angle soon. By the way, we have the equipment that's having technical difficulties. Bear with motherfuckers. Motherfuckers is innovative and self-funded. And zero mentorship in this, not mentorship, pardon me. Zero systemic education on how the thing functions. Alright, so what I was gonna say was,
Is this open?
if the restaurant is ready with my food right now, yo, hey, go ahead. If the restaurant has my food ready right now, that's the restaurant I'm gonna choose to fuck. So I want actions being taken. That's what I need. But obviously stamped on record before anybody goes crying.
House instead of McDonald's.
Exactly. Obviously, Trump over Biden. If you voting for Biden, you're fucking crazy. I prefer you voting for Howie Hawkins over Biden.
Kanye West.
And 50
Word,
Cent just
Kanye
put out a
West.
post an hour ago. 50 Cent, who's been very anti-Trump since
But
the beginning,
JoJo 2020. Just me. I'm sorry. Continue.
he put out something about the tax rates under the Biden tax plan, in which California would be 62.6%, New Jersey 60%, New York State 58%, and New York City 62%.
How could you
And
vote
50
for
Cent
Biden?
said, "Vote for Trump. I'm out. The New York Knicks won't win anyway."
Yo, I'm a Knicks fan, bro.
The Knicks
Although
on
I
my
don't
second
agree.
Don't
team.
violate my Knicks, bro.
The Knicks on my second team, B.
Although I don't agree with what he said here, he said he doesn't care that Trump doesn't like black people, which is not proven by
We
any.
got
He said 62%. Are you out of your mind? So it looks like 50 Cent is endorsing Donald Trump here.
Wow.
He should be endorsing Joe Jorgensen, who wants a 0%
yeah,
federal tax.
exactly.
But, like we said, the lesser of two evils is duopoly strong right now, so we do prefer Donald Trump to Joe Biden.
If you live in a blue state, vote George Jorgensen, plain and simple. If you live in a red state, fine, vote for Trump.
Yeah, do not
God.
vote for Biden.
Yeah, don't
I
vote for
repeat,
Biden.
do
Plain
not
and simple, do
No
not vote.
Biden,
No
no
Biden.
Biden is gonna violate everybody.
Jim Crow
We all
Joe
gonna die.
does not care for minorities. He does not care for
Excuse
anybody but
me.
his own personal gain.
Mhm.
And the gain of the Democratic Party, which is the party of the KKK. Let's not forget about
The
that.
Democrat Party is a party of Satanism, full blown.
Well, there's
Well,
a video on it.
The Republican has their participants, and they folded on a lot of shit. This is why LP over everything, B.
Yeah, I saw a video recently in which there were a satanic church marching in support of Joe Biden.
Wow.
What more needs to be said?
Democrats.
That's about
If
it,
the
bro.
satanic church endorses Joe Biden, if the Grand Wizard of the KKK endorses
Satanism.
Joe Biden,
Satanism.
white
Full
supremacy
blown,
and
thank you.
Satanism
Yeah.
want Joe Biden to win. It sounds to me like God wants Trump to win at this point.
Right.
And I'm a man of God.
I say God has given us the option between Trump and JoJo.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
Because
And
JoJo is going to be
Trump
more
is
fierce.
the Democrat in theory to the libertarian.
Yeah, he is.
Dr. Jorgensen.
He is.
You know, and
Look, whatever you vote for, don't vote Democrat
No.
and
No.
stop
Democrats don't
blindly
do anything.
and stop blindly
Yo,
supporting shit.
if you support Democrats, you support kids being ate and killed
Yes.
and all type of crazy shit.
And he talked recently about supporting an 8-year-old's right to change their sex.
Right.
Why is an
sis.
8-year-old sexual
How is that
identity
even an option?
discussed?
Right.
Children should not be sexualized.
We're talking about
whatsoever.
Santa Claus, much less
Exactly.
fucking sex.
Exactly.
Sexual
I'd rather than believe in
temptation.
Santa Claus than go having sex changes.
Oh,
with
of
babies.
course, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I can't deal with that. That's disgusting to me. It's satanic, and I can't get behind that whatsoever.
Yeah, basically, if you're a Democrat and you think, oh, I
We
need
got
my EBT, I need
26
my this and
minutes.
that, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day,
self accountability is important too.
right. At the end of the day, trust me, all of this shit is possible. Like all of this government funding. And at the end of the day, I don't support people that leech off of the government either. Like if you're leeching off of the government, then you're not really helping society.
You're not.
You're not. Of course you're
You're not
not.
helping society.
Yeah, and that
I'm a
goes-
Section 8 child. Like I grew up off of Section 8, all these other things.
But shouldn't be life,
So
son.
now I provide for the
Yeah.
family. Because I get where some of these people come with, especially Democrat supporters. Oh, we need this government funding, da da da. But there's a lot of people that aren't really trying to do better for themselves or their community.
Yeah.
They're just using it as a gateway to like basically live free and live that leech lifestyle.
Yeah,
That
B,
lifestyle.
and that's wrong
And it
too.
doesn't work. Nothing's free. You sell yourself to a certain extent, whether it's your body or your soul. Or
Yeah,
your
just
freedom. whatever
let's
that
be
is.
accountable about it. Let's be accountable about it. I'll put it on record right now, B.
That's the thing with libertarians, bro. Libertarians are here to take the best from both sides.
And you know, medical freedom, like I said, is at we're losing right now, the medical freedom battle. So I encourage viewers to look up on Instagram the account Wake Up with Linda. She is a OG to the medical freedom movement.
Shout out, Wake Up with Linda.
Of course.
Yeah,
You know, it's really important that people realize that these vaccinations are only going to lead to another wave of COVID and lots more
Vaxxers
issues as well.
are the reason I didn't join the military, you know.
How are
That was
people
the
able
first
to
reason.
predict
Like,
the
yo,
second
what are you
wave
gonna put
of
in me?
I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
have
a
no
plan.
idea.
Maybe it's a plan. How about that?
Plandemic, right? Isn't that what we've been
Plandemic.
calling it? So,
Yeah. Pitbull, shout out Pitbull.
Pitbull's
Shout out Nori, shout out Drink Champs. Cause they put it out as well. It's been a full blown pandemic in a way. When you look at the patterns of it,
Right.
number one, there is a pattern back from 2004, 2005, 2006, somewhere around that time frame.
Right.
Some big names on there, long story short. Are they entitled to their due process? Yes, but the tangible evidence is pointing in that direction. So that's one. Two, titled COVID-19 deaths have risen, but flu
I like how
down.
it's entitled.
95% of flu has gone down.
Right. That doesn't make
even
no
make
sense. Exactly. It doesn't make no
So
sense.
COVID might be great because it killed off every other disease in the world.
Exactly.
No,
No,
I
he
think
didn't
COVID.
How is that entitled? It's entitled.
Yo, he's
It's titled COVID. But then everything else goes down.
He's
I read a story of a man, a Navy veteran, Air Force veteran, who was working on his car in his garage. Unfortunately, the car fell on him and crushed him, and they labeled it a COVID death.
Oh,
There's many more deaths like this too. Diabetes,
Oh,
obesity.
shit.
It's
Most
happening
COVID deaths
worldwide.
are obese people. Obese people die because they are obese.
Obese, exactly.
I was mass shamed the other day. I was walking with my girlfriend, and this fat person said, "You guys are gonna look so cute together. When you're in the hospital, wear a damn mask." So you know, I just kind of brushed it off, but I was publicly mass shamed, and I'm kind of proud of that.
You did.
You know what's funny?
And
And
Like,
that was
thing.
disrespectful the way they went about it because it's, I believe, three layers that form the entity, well, not the entity but the function of communication.
Right.
Number one, what you said. Number two, how you said it. Number three, the context you used it in.
Right.
Why you gotta bark at somebody over something? Just
Yeah.
be like, hey, you know.
You want
just
to talk
be-
about boot licking, bro? There's gotta be some sort of licking label for those people that are kissing ass.
Yeah,
They're
and
called-
I
they're
prefer
called
police
Karens.
bootlickers to medical
Right.
tyranny bootlickers.
Right.
Oh, I respect law enforcement more than I respect.
You going into a
science.
restaurant without a mask on. It's like you gotta wear your mask before you get to your table. Like, bro.
And but the funny thing is because the COVID air is only up here.
Right.
I don't know if the cameras can see me. The COVID air is up here where you're walking. Once you sit down, the COVID air is in here, so you can eat. You're good.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
It makes
There's
no
no
sense.
Scientific backing to anything.
We gotta walk to our table with our mask on, take our mask off, move right at the table.
And then Governor Newsom of California said, make sure you're wearing your mask in between bites too.
That's fucking
What?
crazy.
What are
That's
you talking
fucking
about?
crazy, bro.
And then you have people like Cuomo who go out in public and don't even wear a mask.
Exactly.
The Cuomo family is
And if it's that
disgusting. I don't
crazy,
Chris
look
Cuomo,
at our
Cuomo,
current
no,
president.
Father.
This guy just caught COVID.
This man is fat.
And beat
Eats
it in
McDonald's
days.
and beat it in days. And it's not like he got some special treatment.
Right.
He took hydroxychloroquine. He took,
Which he's been preaching about.
which he's been preaching about. He took that. He took his vitamins. He got better.
Right.
It's not like he had some special medicine that no. The
And the guy's
medicine he
what
took
is he,
is
like
easily
74?
accessible. Yeah.
He's like 74, right? Or
Yeah.
75,
I agree
74.
with that. I agree with that whole body.
That's
Super
funny.
hard
That's
body.
fucking
Nancy
funny.
Pelosi taking her mask off in the beauty parlor,
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
however long ago that was.
Exactly.
And
B.
these are the people. And let's not forget,
And
these are the
Fauci
same.
switching his perspective
Well,
on the
Thank
mask.
you.
Fauci not
Fauci's
wearing
a
his mask
little
at a Washington National
Fine,
baseball
motherfucker.
game.
We got 18 minutes.
So let's get into let's get into early COVID days where Trump put on a ban of travel to China,
Yep.
which who knows, maybe it did slow the spread.
He did.
However,
I agree it did. I agree
Nancy
it did.
Pelosi, Bill de Blasio, all these leftist
They went to
politicians
Chinese
went to Chinatown
communities.
and said it's safe, come down, we're having fun. They literally killed people
That's
and
what
blamed
Biden.
Trump.
That's what Biden wants to do. He wants to be a puppet for these guys.
And he is a puppet for them because
Exactly.
AOC thinks that she's going to have a hand in how Biden takes over this country.
Right.
And AOC is dangerous because there's a lot of young Latinos in this city that see her for what she is, you know, as a female Hispanic, and they think that that's how they have to think. But that's not the case. She's a communist.
Yep.
Latinas should not be Latinas should not be communists. We
At all.
escaped communism to come here
Of course.
for a constitutional
What I'll
society.
say about AOC, I think.
Do you guys want another Hitler, or do you guys want a fucking savior that's gonna basically let you choose what you want to do?
Of course.
Word up. What I think about AOC is she just needs to have like a nice, tranquil conversation to further elaborate on what's really going on.
She's a puppet, though. She doesn't even have an office in her own jurisdiction in New York City. She's only in Washington, D.C.
'Cause
What
Yeah,
does she
women,
do
how do
for
you guys
her
feel
people?
about Kamala Harris? I don't mean to change the
Oh,
subject.
she's terrible too.
Kamala
I mean,
Harris is a fraud.
This is the lady who
Fraud.
1,900
fuck
plus marijuana convictions. When asked about having smoked marijuana, said only when she listens to Snoop Dogg or something like that.
Oh my God. She
What?
became a. What was it? She was
She
a.
was an Indian American up until she had to be a black
She
American for this
became
election.
black. Exactly.
I think even her father said she's not
You
black.
gotta be an idiot to support the Democrats.
And but people just
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, like if you with Democrats, you bugging, B.
I don't get it. It's
It's
lack of
basically
knowledge,
either-
lack of
If
education.
you support Democrats at this point, I'm pretty sure I can get you to sell a few bags for me. You feel me?
You know,
You gotta be the most gullible person on earth.
yeah.
You feel me? Like,
It's terrible. It's sad though because a lot of these people are not bad people. They're just misled.
They're misled. That's all. And I think AOC might be misled. Just me,
No,
my
I think
opinion.
she's just a puppet to the game, and I think she's the one misleading people now.
I wanna grant her in particular her due process. That's all I wanna.
I respect the fact that she blew up on social media and really did her thing. However, I was talking to someone recently who went to college with her, and she used to say that she was a Caucasian female. She never jacked that she was Hispanic. She used to say she was white. Until it became important for her to be Hispanic, that she become Hispanic.
I mean, she
grew up upstate
white.
too. She didn't grow up in the city.
Right.
She's not who she says she is.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a big difference.
But that's
you guys
the
that don't
thing.
know, upstate and the city is hugely
Different.
different.
Yeah, different.
Let's get into ballot harvesting. Have you guys seen what Project Veritas uncovered on Elon Omar's campaign and all that?
No.
Over in Minneapolis. They've been taking ballots and filling them in how they please.
Okay.
And
they
that's
have a
not
whole Islamic community out there, and it's like radical Islamic.
You ever see when
'Cause
Elon Omar?
I respect
You guys, I'm learning with you guys, by the way.
Of course, yeah, we're all.
I,
learning.
know,
I
but these guys
respect-
are
Yeah.
informed.
I respect.
Shout out to Project Veritas, by the way, for doing great
Word,
things and
shout
exposing
out,
evil
shout
in this
out
country.
Project Veritas. Yeah, motherfuckers.
James O'Keefe.
Great job, great job.
The podcast.
I believe in the exercising of choice within religion.
Mhm.
But when you get on some extreme shit along with harming others, that's my line in the sand.
Elon Omar,
That's fair.
when you mention the word United States, there's like a snarl in her face. When you say Al Qaeda,
There's
she
a
looks
joy.
happy.
There's a
Smirk.
joy.
Smirks.
She's happy to hear the word Al Qaeda. And these are the people who swore that next time after 9/11, it would be from within.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people take a oath to the Constitution when they join the military and law enforcement to protect from enemies, foreign and domestic.
Domestic,
Right.
yeah.
Domestic enemies are at an all-time high right now. in
Constitutionally-
the way I see it.
Because they're being led by these racial narratives.
Exactly.
Constitutionally, it says the militia is to be called upon to prevent and put an end to
Yeah.
basically
Right.
insurrections.
I want to go back to AOC real quick
My
because
bad.
she's a big advocate for Trump's tax returns. I don't care if a man pays taxes.
Right.
I don't believe in taxes.
Me
So, and there's lawful ways to avoid taxes, which I'm sure is why you
I think that's
practice.
another thing. I think we should be able to choose what we want to be taxed
Of
on
course,
and where
yeah.
to go.
Yeah,
Where it goes. However,
choice.
I want to see AOC's
First-
tax returns from when she was a bartender making all her cash tips.
Right.
That was all untaxed. Where's that money go?
Facts, facts,
Right.
facts.
So, don't be a hypocrite, AOC. I hope you can get you on the show one day and you
Yo.
can talk to us.
My
You think she'll
bad.
ever come out here and talk to us? Probably not.
That's the thing, we don't know until we try. And once we have a tangible verification that it won't happen, then we could, acknowledge it and
She
shit.
won't get on our show.
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
And my favorite thing now is politicians like Elon Omar who go on these weird rants on Instagram and you can't even comment
I don't
on their
trust
pages.
Omar for shit.
You can't even comment on their pages though. You can't even what she said is what it is apparently.
Right.
I tried to tag Bill Gates in my shirt today, and it said this user does not accept tags.
Hold that, I just switched the camera
So,
towards you.
you
So
know.
hold that up. Show them the shirt. We got
Can you see it?
13 minutes.
You see it?
Yeah.
It says your body, my choice.
And that's Bill Gates. We support medical freedom
Holding a syringe.
at this show. Yeah, we support medical freedom.
Yes, we do. 100%.
Word up, word up. Yeah, I even forgot. I know I make points all the time. I love tangible evidence. That's what I'm about.
Right.
And shit, I'm not trying to conduct any type of Rubik's Cube functional train of thought right now. I'm chilling. It's been good vibes, a great conversation. We still got 12 minutes and 30 seconds, pilot episode and shit. Overall, we libertarian constitutionalists, what we want is a constitutional republic fully restored. Everybody's constitutional Bill of Rights.
100%.
This is not a democracy. This is a constitutional republic.
This is a
and too many
constitutional
think that this is a
republic
democracy. It's not.
that conducts a function of voting in a democratic manner, not to be tied in with the Democrat Party.
Not at all.
The Democrat Party is its own entity, which is supposed to be about the rights of the individual, but they have gone in the direction of the government's saying and what people do, and that's how you know it's real.
Real quick, Cuomo killed old people in nursing homes too by placing them
yes.
together with
Yes.
COVID
Yes.
infected patients.
Larry Sharp, 2022. Know what I mean?
Very
That's
sharp, baby. If you guys don't know about this guy, please research right now.
He's the sharpest
He's on
man.
Facebook and he's on Instagram.
That is my political mentor right there.
Larry Sharp.
that's how you know it's
Sharp with an E at the end.
Sharp with an E.
real. Yep.
Sharp with an E.
That's probably him texting me right now, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm on live on IG too, and there's people watching on IG live, and I don't want to take that away from them and shit. Do you have Larry's number by any
I do
sense?
not have. I don't know if I'm cool enough yet for that.
You more than likely are. It just it hasn't gotten to that topic because I want to defend Larry real quick.
Okay.
People try to, you know, put pressure on Larry and all that shit. And you gotta understand, this is one man trying to do so many things for so many different people.
Right.
See how you could help rather than how you want to critique.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. It's true.
deadass. Just to summarize that shit, because come on, B.
Well, the same
If
could be
the
said
shoe-
about Donald Trump too.
Right.
The same could be said about Donald Trump, but there's the thing with Trump. You've had enough time already, and you already acquired the position.
Okay.
You can't hold Larry to a standard that requires a position in order to legally take action, because at the end of it all, it's all about back to the legality of it.
Right.
Hence, again, the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It is the final say. Anything in doubts of what is occurring in a current event, situation, or case, you must refer back to the United States Constitution to put the final validation on it. Does it abide by the United States Constitution? Yes or no? You gotta be judged by a jury of your peers.
And I encourage anyone who does not care about the constitutional republic we live in to go to a country like Venezuela, which was recently
Yeah,
a
you
Republican
gonna turn
country
around-
that elected a democratic socialist.
You gonna
And
turn
they have
around real
children
quick,
eating out of
B.
garbage cans, and
Yes,
lack
sir.
of medicine because of all the free medicine got rationed out and people are dying.
Communist
It's not
beliefs.
So please try out Venezuela or Cuba or any of those communist places and let us know how you like that.
Yes, sir.
Again, I am not voting presidentially Republican, but in places where the Republican makes the most sense or the Democrat makes the most sense,
Vote
I'll be
Republican.
voting.
Of course.
No, I'll be voting, you know, in the direction of whichever
You're voting
candidate.
red or you're voting gold. There's no room for blue anymore.
Right.
Depends.
Turning
No, because
communist.
there's local Democrats that are workable.
Yeah, they
Maybe
are,
you
but
can,
why
like,
are they even Democrats to
organize
begin with?
Because
they
they're
misfired.
uninformed. They're uninformed.
Exactly. And
That's
we have
all.
to address that.
What I want, I could care less about
Those
Republicans.
Democratic candidates that you're talking about are really libertarian.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna get
Start
to.
with Dion
Yo.
Powell real quick.
Yeah, shout out Dion Powell. Yo, me, I care more about getting Democrats than Republicans. In New York, there's way more Democrats than Republicans. Guess what? Republicans are flocking. Out of the two sides walking away, Republicans leave the most.
But the scary part is, my whole argument to that is, I don't want Biden to get higher votes because of
Exactly,
the
of course not. So vote
Shout out to
libertarian.
Kanye West too for trying to pull.
Yeah, you know, shout out Kanye. You
Black
could be
American
doing
votes
better
for
in my
Republican
personal
Party.
opinion, but shout out for what you are doing. Maybe it's lack of information and all that, which is perfectly understandable. I'm not a fucking.
should turn libertarian. bro.
Yeah, of course he should.
He
Fuck
He
yeah.
is
But
libertarian.
however,
He
he's
doesn't know
a
it yet.
free-thinking man.
Yeah.
And that's what libertarians are. Free thinking
Mhm.
men
Yeah.
and women. You know.
What's gotta happen
Kanye
is
West
we
important.
gotta interact that with him and see his
And
response
he's
to
just
it.
important for recognizing that there are black conservatives out there. However, they try to denounce him with calling him bipolar and all these mental disorders. The
You
man's
know,
not
a
crazy,
lot
in
of
my opinion.
conservatives.
He's just fed up.
A lot of conservatives say they're not Republicans. They differentiate themselves from
Mhm.
Republicans right there. And a lot of them say I'm a libertarian conservative or conservative libertarian.
I'm a constitutional libertarian.
I'm a constitutional libertarian.
Right.
Yeah. From there, you might have your little, you know, seasoning.
But I support the constitutional republic. That's
Yeah,
what
I support the
This
constitutional
nation is a
republic right
republic,
away.
Not
Fuck
a
it.
democracy.
Yo, one thing that has been said, which I can agree with, communism only works in small pockets of individual
It works
like
in a household.
entities, shit like that.
It doesn't work as a government.
As a government, no, because then nothing
There's
thrives.
so many opinions involved.
Yes, exactly.
If you
So,
want to
yo,
start a farm and have a little communist farm, that's fine.
yeah.
You want to live off
Do
the
it
land
within
with your little
your
friends,
own
go for it.
boundaries. Do it within your own boundaries, and
Do
those
not
who
impose it.
consented to be within those boundaries do not impose it.
But I do,
Thank
as
you.
far as
We
like,
got 6 minutes.
manufacturing, I do agree with us providing more than what we receive, because I don't want me as an American. I don't want my country in debt. I want my country providing and putting others in debt.
Here is my biggest criticism towards Donald Trump. As much as he wants to bring jobs back to America, why is all his merchandise still made in China?
Exactly, bro.
Why I'd wear a MAGA hat if it was made in the United States.
Right.
I'm not wearing a MAGA hat made in China. Are you kidding me?
See, right
That was the
now, I
most
should have had the
hypocritical
other
thing.
laptop ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't get
I already
behind
got this. This is gonna be
So
lit
that's why.
for the years. Pardon
Right.
me, for the years to come. Go ahead, brother.
No, but that's why you remember in the beginning of the whole podcast, I was saying, like Donald Trump, he'll preach something, but I feel like it's really people running the things behind the scenes that makes him look good at the end of the day, but it's not really him.
Yeah.
You know what the United States Constitution is about, and John F. Kennedy said this in his speech, and this is what libertarians
Rest in peace.
abide by. Word, God bless, and rest in peace, JFK. Great, great, great man. Transparency.
Okay.
All we want is transparency.
Yeah.
Well, we have to know in terms
100%.
of transparency is Trump has declassified lots of documents
Yes,
that were
sir.
sealed for
He
That's
very
the beauty
has-
of Trump. That
he
he basically
has-
called a
The
lot of people
JFK
out.
He
files
has,
were declassified by Donald
But the
Trump.
way he goes about it, he don't deliver it.
He steps on his own shoes too much. He's his own
Yeah.
biggest enemy. He's
And
not
this is
creative
not
friendly.
the
I love
time.
it because he's an alpha male. He says what he needs to say.
His public speaking sucks though.
It does. It
It
does.
sucks.
I understand it.
Fine,
But
fine,
we're
fine,
smart
fine,
enough to understand him. Too many
Next time
people
I'ma
get
have-
too caught up in their
I'ma have
feelings,
the
realize what
sound
he's saying,
system
Yeah.
ready.
you know?
I'ma have the sound system ready. But we got everything else good money. We got everything else good money. We got 4 minutes left on shit. Amazing. There's even a song called 4 Minutes, ironically enough. And it's about making everything fix itself to its best function within those 4
And
minutes.
that is here on the fix for New York.
The fix for New York.
Yes, sir. Fix for New York. Look it up.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
yeah.
everywhere.
We're gonna be everywhere. Billboards coming to
Get
Times
ready.
Square. The
I'm
three
gonna
of
be, I'm
us.
gonna be the
Exactly.
tech guy though. These niggas, these are the main characters on this podcast.
That's the main character. I'm just here to
This is the main character,
with
this
me,
is
brother.
crazy stuff.
His
Right
co-host.
here.
Yeah.
You know, y'all both here with me and shit, and that's what I want. I want to
I'm the truck
fix.
driver.
I want to fix for everything. You know why? Because when people are making enough money that they have time freedom, they enjoy more time with each other. Because literally what it comes down to is all we have is one life to live. I'm not out here starting problems with nobody. I call out corrupt politicians who want to infringe on your rights to enjoy your life however the fuck you want to enjoy it, as long as you're not causing harm to anybody else.
Right.
That's what I'm fighting for. That's what the libertarians are fighting for. You feel me? And that's what the fuck we want.
This is a
'Cause,
libertarian podcast.
yeah, there's only one life to live.
I would
There's
say,
one
you
life
know,
to live.
We do have maybe some left-leaning politics as well. I just want it to be a free-thinking podcast.
Yeah,
more so than anything.
exactly. And that's
I
fine.
don't even care about the Libertarian Party. They just happen to be more constitutional than others. I care about,
Of course, it's the most
individualism and
constitutional.
free thinking.
It has the coolest logo.
and I don't like generalizations. I don't
It looks like Lava. Yeah, you remember
Look, it's a
Lava?
porcupine. Do you guys know porcupines? They don't harm nobody, bro.
But if you touch them, they
You
will
get
hurt you.
fucked. That's
Yeah,
basically
don't
what happens.
tread on anybody.
Nope.
Don't tread
Right.
on anybody. You know what's
Be a
amazing?
porcupine.
Yeah, exactly. Be a porcupine. Don't try. You know what porcupines spend their time doing? Being
Chilling.
being productive or procreating.
Right.
That's what they do.
Basically.
And that's what it's
Oh,
about. You want to have one child, go ahead. You want to have 10, 20, 30, go ahead. 40,
Can't do
50,
that in
go
China though. So God bless America. And shout out to Hong Kong fighting the good fight against
God
the
bless
Chinese
the
Communist
United
Party.
States. God bless the the good people of China. God bless the good people worldwide. Cause I like to say God bless the planet overall. Cause God he made the planet and the cosmos, the universe and shit. However you want to title it, your perspectives on it and all that and shit. What we want more than anything is the individual to be honored, respected,
That's a fact.
and cherished to the fullest extent. There's only one life to live.
Respect
no
is number
harm.
one word.
Yeah, no harm brought upon anybody else because it don't gotta be like that. We could all be chilling here You could be drinking what you want to drink. I could be drinking what I want to drink. I could be
Ice
smoking what
cream,
I want to smoke.
lasagna, whatever it is.
You could smoke what you want to smoke. Exactly. I like Berettas. What handguns you like?
I like anything that kills tyranny.
There you go.
Right.
Well, you know.
Glocks.
Okay,
Glock,
you
yeah.
know, there you go. And there's certain Glocks I could fuck with. I can modify to fuck with it. But yeah, y'all want to play some Call of Duty? We have 3 people here.
Yes, sir.
When this finishes, you with us, either?
I gotta head back to the Bronx. It's
One
Ryan's
round?
birthday. We're gonna go
Oh,
out.
nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
understandable,
some drinks,
understandable. You know, just
I
throwing
would.
that out there.
I got
Sure.
work later tonight, so I'm hanging out,
So fuck
enjoying
it.
the vibe.
We gonna enjoy some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, about the individual more than anything, preserving the constitutional rights of the individual, which the Libertarian Party right now is the most abiding of that concept.
Right.
Shout out Joe Jorgensen, Spike Cohen, Larry Short, Marsh Ray, Puerto Rican Pistolero, my brother Taz, my brother Z-Dot, Big
sir.
Pun, rest in peace. Shout out Cuban Link. Shout out Nori and the whole Drink Champs fam. Shout out my brother
Rest in peace,
Trigger.
King Face.
R.I.P. King Face.
That's my brother.
Shout out Looney. Shout out all the good people that I know. Breezy. DJ Bacan, Frankie.
Shout out everybody
Ethan.
in Dykeman.
Shout out all the good
Dykeman.
people in Dykeman. Shout out all the good people in
Shout
the
out the One
BX. The
Shout
whole
out the
One
Bronx.
Train. Shout
One
out New
Train,
York
yeah.
City.
Local-
Shout out.
local train.
Shout out all the good people worldwide. There's so many people to name and shit.
Yeah.
This was the first ever. This is the pilot episode to put it on stamp. The Fix for New York.
Fix for New York.
Know what I mean? And plenty more to come for the years to come. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
You fix New York, you fix the planet. Know what I mean? So
Thank you very much. God bless.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
let's make it happen. How do we end this?
Yes, sir.
Reflex.
The reflex.